Today we are going to play in the Premodern Challenge. The cards here are in their ugly versions because I'm not on my Daybreak account. If I prize this tournament, I would like to keep the prizes. I get unlimited cards on my Daybreak account, and I don't cash any events. All right, so lots of frequently asked questions about Gro-a-Tog following my two videos after I cut Mox and I cut Meddling Mage, and they are all quite interesting to address. Definitely check out Neon Mushroom's run with the deck. I think it is pretty informative and honestly kind of fun to see someone else play this deck, give it a spin. So the first and obvious topic that keeps on coming up, even though I feel like I have unequivocally said this multiple times now, this deck is better without Mox. There is no moxless Grotog. There is just Grotog and the old version of Grotog that people used to play. If you want to continue to play Mox in this deck, you are shooting yourself in the foot. You're making the deck worse. I stand by this statement 1,000,000,000%. I've played this deck for years. I've had many people say, like, can you play this deck without Moxes? And I basically always said the same thing. I was like, the mana doesn't work. You have to, like, this deck can't play, like, can't really do Yavimaya Coast, can't really do, I put Windswept Heath in this deck. The extra I was thinking Chromatic Sphere was maybe the option. All these things basically don't work. I was like, Mox is great. It's a painless 5-color source that you can tap as many times as you want. And I didn't put Gemstone Mine in the deck because I was like, Gemstone Mine makes no sense. I spend all of my mana, all my turn, every single turn. This Gemstone Mine is just going to disappear, and I'm going to want to continue to use the mana. As you saw from my videos, you can actually just not tap a Gemstone Mine very often. And even if you do happen to gas one out, it is very plausible that by the time your Gemstone Mine has disappeared, your City of Brass shows up or something similar. The other thing I noticed was that even though Wasteland got marginally better against me, I was still pretty fine against Wasteland. You do have to hold back your colored sources against Wasteland decks, but I was playing online. I was playing even at my local meetup. I got like triple Wastelanded, right? But it didn't matter because I have like lots of card draw in this deck, and you will find your replacement colored sources, and you just don't have to cast that many colored spells, right? So so long as you hold back your colored source, you can repeatedly cast your Swords of Plowshares white spells off your basic planes, right? And then, unless you're sideboarding heavily colored spells, you're sideboarding all your Pyroclasms, you're trying to cast Fire, and you're trying to cast Green Giant and Psychotog, and your opponent's playing Wasteland. For the most part, you can just play your multicolor land, cast a Psychotog, get your land Wastelanded, but you have a Psychotog now, and Psychotog generally means that you're going to play a few more turns of the game because your opponent's not going to be attacking you, etc., etc. So, surprisingly resilient to Wasteland. And the sort of sneaky thing is, yeah, Mox is good against Wasteland, but you know what also is good against Wasteland is just playing more card draw and things to do with your blue mana in your deck, right? Like, you don't have to play Mox just so that you can play your colored spells. And yeah, again, it's just like using your cantrips to make sure you draw extra lands and gushes so that you can pitch a land to Mox, so that you can play colored spells. It's like, oh my God, I feel like I was like living in some sort of prehistoric era where, it just didn't have to be that hard. Like, this is so much easier than the alternative. So unequivocally, this deck is better without Mox, and I can say this with a lot of confidence. A lot of people, some people were asking about sample size. They're like, oh, you haven't played that many matches of the deck. The thing is, every single time you play a match, there are multiple instances across those matches and across those multiple games where you notice that Gemstone Mine or more cantrips is better than Mox, right? So, some people would say one game is a sample size of one, but I would say it's like a sample size of every single time you see Gemstone Mine, or you see Sleight of Hand, or you whatever slot you would assign to like replace with Mox in this deck. Every single time you see that, you can count that as a data point and be like, would Mox be better here or worse here, or no difference, right? There's plenty of times where you're just like, okay, well, it doesn't matter. But the most important part is if you just like watch how the games have been going out, Mox is almost never better than the card that I'm playing instead of Mox, like almost never. So unequivocally, this is Grotog, and there's no such thing as Grotog with Mox Diamond in the year of our Lord 2026. The more spicy take away was also cutting Meddling Mage, either from the deck entirely or, just moving it to the sideboard. So the number one enemy of, the pre-modern format being Phyrexian Dreadnought deck, I will run down basically what I think about that. I do think that Meddling Mage is excellent against Dreadnought. I also think that Shroom ran into this thing where he's like, oh, I wish I had my mages game 1, because game 2 they could just like answer all my mages and then win the game anyways, right, with their powder kegs and essence flares. And so his conclusion was, I need Meddling Mages in game 1 so that I can win game 1, and then I have 2 shots to beat them sideboarded. Basically trying to clue into this idea that you might be behind in post sideboard games. And what Shroom was doing was he was boarding out some of the weaker cantrips, like a couple sleight of hands and an opt. I would not do that. I would not board out your cantrips against Phyrexian Dreadnought. I would board out your Fire Ice and of course your Ray of Elevation and some creatures if you're going to board a Meddling Mage, because Meddling Mage sort of fills that creature gap. I don't have the Meddling Mages board in, but I do have these Gaia's Blessings, which we'll get into later. The reason you do that is because you don't want to cast AK. You want your opponent to have to cast AK. And the way to force your opponent to cast AK is if they need to cast it to hit land drops. So if you have 10 cantrips that aren't AK in your deck, and your opponent has Portent Impulse, or 4 Portent, 2 Ops, and 1 or 2 Impulse, like they have 8, right? They have 16 to 18 lands, and you have 20 lands. They are going to have to use AK to accumulate land drops. And if they have to use AK and you don't have to use AK, you are in you're very ahead, right? And then also all of your creatures will kill them if they're resolved. So you don't have to play as many creatures, and you don't lose as much value when your creatures get countered versus your opponent who has to sink Stifles and Vision Charms into their creatures. Now, there's a lot of texture that gets added if they're playing Brain Freeze or if they're playing Mishra's Factory. But now think about the same scenario, except for they also are playing Essence Flare. Or I guess Legacy's Allure, which is what we saw in the Shroom video. You can definitely beat Essence Flare and Legacy's Allure with Korean Dryad and Psychotog, because those cards are basically designed to answer Meddling Mage. Now, granted, Essence Flare will kill a Psychotog, but if you put that Psychotog on the battlefield in a spot where you're threatening to kill them, their Essence Flare isn't going to do anything, and Korean Dryad can basically outrace the Legacy's Allure counter, and of course outrace the Essence Flare counters, which wraps back into the first thing of just like, yes, you want to keep cantrips in your deck so that your Korean Dryad can race Legacy's Allure and Essence Flare. So that's why you don't run Meddling Mage even in the sideboard, right? Because in the sideboard, you have like a pretty solid plan. You're just a good control deck. You draw as many cards as them. You keep the pace. Like the way that Dreadnought interacts with interactive decks is to draw cards. But if they can't draw more cards than those interactive decks, then they won't win. And this is true in game. It's true in all 3 games. And here's the thing. If you do believe that the Dreadnought deck is plausibly favored post board because they can answer Meddling Mage, that might not even be true, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I still think Meddling Mage is generally a fantastic card against Dreadnought. But even if you do think that Dreadnought is going to like sideboard into stuff to beat Meddling Mage, if you think about your 3-game outlook, if they're going to play 3 games where they're ahead against Meddling Mage and only 1 game where they're behind against Meddling Mage, plus they sometimes have the answer anyways, you're not in great shape. And then number 2, all the Meddling Mages in the world, well, plausibly some amount of Meddling Mage could answer Brain Freeze, but Meddling Mage is much is actually has to work way too hard if you're going to board in Plowshare's Disenchant, and then your Meddling Mage actually has to name Brain Freeze, and then they can just fight over the Chain of Vapor naming targeting your Meddling Mage, and then after that fight they can Brain Freeze you, and then you're dead and you have no answers to Brain Freeze. So this is a little bit of like trying to outlevel the opposition, right? They're making adjustments. You have to make adjustments. Your adjustments. If you just want to play level 1 Magic where they don't have Brain Freeze and you have Meddling Mage and they just have Essence Flare, maybe that's your meta. Maybe that's what people are up to. That's what people are teching. But I think that this configuration of the deck has an excellent plan against the all of Dreadnought players, right? So I'm going to lose a little bit more to the Dreadnought players who are unprepared for Meddling Mage or only prepared for Meddling Mage with like a couple Essence Flares or, one Boomerang or whatever. But for the Dreadnought players who are like, look, this anti-Meddling Mage strat is just like never going to work if Meddling Mage is coming out of decks like Replenish and Landstill, that have like lots of interaction and Meddling Mage, I have to go towards the Brain Freeze plan. The Brain Freeze plan annihilates Grotog. Grotog doesn't have a good answer to the Brain Freeze plan. As a result, we have to play Gaia's Blessing. So playing Gaia's Blessing in the sideboard, and that's just going to be a good card against Dreadnought. You can cast your AKs and then you can like shuffle your AKs. You can shuffle their Flash of Insights. You can do little fancy tricks like that. They play Cephalid Coliseum. Sometimes you can keep them off threshold. So you can do fancy tricks with Gaia's Blessing, and of course you can insulate yourself from Brain Freeze, and you're going to have extra hedge against Altar of Dementia, as well as Brain Freeze from Brain Freeze combo, Iggy Pop, and Mono Blue Storm. So Gaia's Blessing, slightly experimental, but look, you can also bring this card in against the Rock, and you can just like let your stuff get blown up all day to Pernicious Deed, and you shuffle back into your deck. So lots of potential there. Don't like how dependent this deck is on the graveyard, but look, we have we have interaction on the stack, we have interaction on the battlefield, and we have creatures, we have stack interaction, we have card draw, and we have graveyard. We don't have artifacts and enchantments, so that's 1+ for us. We're not relying on those, right? Although I would be interested in some creative sideboard options that include bringing in artifacts and enchantments so your opponent truly has nowhere to go, but I haven't solved that problem yet. So anyways, we went a little bit too far off track there. I still want to talk about Meddling Mage. I want to talk about my point earlier of Meddling Mage has to be good when it is both a prison spell and a creature. If it's just a prison spell, like against Landstill, right? You just like play Meddling Mage and you name Wrath of God, you name Humility, or you name Swords of Plowshares. But the thing is that Meddling Mage can never attack, right? Because they have Decree of Justice and they have Mishra's Factory. Well, if that Meddling Mage can never attack, then it's just sitting there naming Plowshares, and then eventually they're just going to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to draw cards until I find, more removal, and then that Meddling Mage is not putting any pressure on me, so I'll just wait until I have the Wrath of God, or be in a position where I can take the beat down and force the Meddling Mage to block and unlock all my Swords of Plowshares. Not to mention Meddling Mage locking out your own Swords of Plowshares, making it so that you can't play Pyroclasm out of the sideboard to answer Decree tokens. Not that I want like tons of Pyroclasms in my deck to answer Decree tokens, but when you're trying to attack with Psychic and Korean Dryad, Decree tokens can be an issue. Although try to solve that problem with Armageddon. Anyways, another common card you see across the table is a Elephant token generated by Call of the Herd. You are really bad against Call of the Herd decks when you have Meddling Mage in your deck. There are a lot of Call of the Herd decks. All the Terraform decks play Call of the Herd. Rock decks can play Call of the Herd. Rock decks also play Wall of Blossoms. Wall of Blossoms and Wall of Roots are popular in survival decks. Multani's Acolyte is popular in a survival deck. These are all creatures that Meddling Mage can tango with. And additionally, as non-white mid-range and control decks become more popular, this also becomes a problem where Meddling Mage can't even name a card that's important. So then you're narrowing the Meddling Mage range to just good against Dreadnought and stuff like Devour combo and Iggy Pop and whatnot, like linear combo decks and Stasis. And to some extent, Enchantress, insofar as like when you're playing against Enchantress, you pretty much have to like Meddling Mage Plow and try to take the beat down while controlling their card draw engines, hoping that they never resolve Parallax Wave, which of course makes life really hard. And then if the second one can name Parallax Wave, and then then you just counter replenish if they can get a Parallax Wave into the graveyard. So don't get me wrong, Mage is good against Enchantress, against Dreadnought. Those are really, really popular decks. But I believe that we can beat those decks without Meddling Mage. And if we can do that, we become so much better against the decks that people like to play with Wall of Blossoms, with Call of the Herd, with, whatever. If you told me, Lanny, my meta is Dreadnought, Stasis, Enchantress, Devourer combo, and Iggy Pop, and many other decks in Premodern that or Replenish, like all these decks that people cook up that just like don't play any creatures, then yes, play Meddling Mages, right? If the 2/2 is going to be the biggest thing on the battlefield, then Meddling Mage is awesome. If a 2/2 is not the biggest thing on the battlefield, then Meddling Mage falls off very, very quickly, right? I hate to see that card against burn. It's like so against elves. Like it kind of is good if you can name survival and then they can't get in there with their 1/1s, but if you have a survival in play, your Meddling Mage is going to do literal nothing. And also it just puts you at a weird spot where you're like bringing in Meddling Mages and Disenchants, but then you mage survival and then now you have Disenchants in your hand that don't do anything. So there's that. And then, yeah, there's just like at LobsterCon last year, my opponent goes Ritual, Buried Alive, and Buried Alive's Crows and Cloud Scraper ×2 and Sutured Ghoul. And then I play Meddling Mage and I name Shallow Grave. And the next card they cast is Corpse Dance. That is going to happen to you, Meddling Mages. Your opponent is going to go Island Portent. You're going to go Mage. You're going to name Dreadnought. Then they're going to go Swamp Psychotog, right? Like these are things that happen to Meddling Mage that are actually really, really bad because you're like, oh, well, I have a 2/2. Now, granted, Meddling Mage is good against Psychotog. Meddling Mage Psychotog is just like naming Meddling Mage, naming Dreadnought. But these are things that can happen to you and are basically forcing you to discard a card. And the thing that I have learned about this deck from cutting Mox Diamond, from playing more cantrips, from playing No Dazes and different stuff, is that you can, like, discarding a card is just really, really, really bad. And it's really, really, really good when you are, like, completely dictating what's important in the game. You're countering stuff that matters. You're removing stuff that matters. And being in a spot where you play a card and your opponent can just completely ignore it because a 2/2 doesn't matter or the effect doesn't matter because they didn't draw the card that you're naming, it seems small, but it's actually very, very impactful. So right now I'm not feeling Meddling Mage. I didn't mention against goblins it can block War Chief or name War Chief. Those things are pretty good, but they Gem Palm Incinerate it, and then that's like super bad for you. They can Gem Palm Incinerate everything, so it's kind of a wash. The main point is that you can not play Meddling Mages and have them get out of the way so that you can play Pyroclasm. So that is the Meddling Mage rant. I think it's like so like on the scale of things, right? Never play Mox in this deck. Play Meddling Mage in this deck if you feel like it, but proceed with caution, right? Like moving forward, just be very careful about the number and where the placement of your Meddling Mage is, and pay close attention to how much it is actually impacting the matches that you're playing and how much it would impact the matches that you're playing. Shroom played 5 matches, 2 of them against Dreadnought, and was like, Meddling Mage, I really wish I still had Meddling Mage in the main deck. And I was like, what do you mean you wish you had Meddling Mage in the main deck? The other matchups you played against were like mid-range in the Rock and like White Weenie Beatdown. All decks where having Meddling Mage in the main would actually make your deck worse. I'm like, if you just take that as a 5-game sample, I think that's a good argument against Meddling Mage or for putting Meddling Mage just in the sideboard. In the game 1 against Dreadnought, they played turn 2 Dreadnought on the play, so you would just had no time to even cast Meddling Mage if you wanted to. So these are all counts against Meddling Mage, even if you're going to encounter Dreadnought, even if you're going to encounter Enchantress. So right now, the other thing that I do that I'm sort of befuddled because like I'm always like, hey, I'm going to change this about this deck, and these are the reasons why I'm going to change it. And then I get like 100 comments and messages that are just like, oh, well, if you change this against this deck, like this is going to happen. I'm like, I addressed that. Like, yes, I know. Like my idea is that I might still be Dreadnought, right? Like you don't have to be like, oh, Meddling Mage is good against Dreadnought. I know it's good against Dreadnought, but maybe it's not that good against Dreadnought. Maybe it's not as good against Dreadnought as you thought it was. Or maybe Dreadnought is getting better against Meddling Mage and you need to do this other thing. Lasai. Life as a content creator. Thank you for watching and stuff. Anyways, promo code LANNYNINI on Mana Traders. That's how I am renting these $15 gemstone mines while I'm not using my God account. And check out the donation in the description. We are going to keep these videos ad free because AdSense makes no money. So, tips and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. And this challenge is about to fire, and we are going to get excited for Gaia's Blessing Tog. The rest is the same. Armageddon's better than Sabo's Web. Armageddon so it's actually very specifically Armageddon's better against Sabo's Web because Armageddon's better against Enchantress and the Rock, right? Sabo's Web is good against the Rock, but eventually they're just going to use Pernicious Deed, and then your Sabo's Web is going to go away, and you want to permanently answer Treetop Village, which is like a thing that matters. And that's why you want to play Armageddon instead of Sabo's Web, to permanently answer Treetop Village. And Armageddon, Sabo's Web is probably slightly better against Standstill. They're not going to bring in Disenchants against you, or if they do, that's really bad for them. 2-for-1 type stuff. But, there's more Rock than Standstill right now. People like the Rock better than Standstill. And Armageddon is still pretty good against Standstill. You're going to go Armageddon foil, like they're just going to lose the game on the spot. So that's kind of the deal with that. Plus, we're just like a better card. It's just like so funny. I don't know why people play control decks. Like, this is the best control deck in the format. Like, we have AK, we have a billion cantrips, we have Psychotog. Like, they can never attack. We have Counterspell, we have Foil, we have Gush. Like, they're playing a Mana Leak deck. Mana Leak decks are so bad. Like, people can pay for Mana Leak. Anyways, thank you for bearing with this extra long intro. Basically a podcast at this point. But, lots of back and forth going on in the various Discords and comment sections. If you want to talk about this deck with me, you can obviously drop a comment on the YouTube, or you can find the Grotog thread in the Premodern Discord. That is where a fair amount of chatting about this deck goes on, and I'm pretty active in there. So give me a buzz, and let's jump into the Premodern Challenge. All right, we're up against Poliere. All right, they only play Ill-Gotten Gains in Premodern. Thank God we put Gaia's Blessing in the sideboard. They're never going to expect that. All right, we have the foil against Ill-Gotten Gains, so we are in decent shape here. The Sword Plowshares it's like actually how funny how good foil is that I'm literally going to keep 6 blanks in foil. Like that's how we're going to play. Oh, I hope they don't see the foil. They saw an island. Are you going to go for the turn 1 victory? Probably not, right? They saw Flooded Strand. All right, play Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Man, I am so hyped to board in Brain Freeze. I'm going to win this game 1 because I have a foil in my hand, and then I'm going to win games 2 and 3 because I have Gaia's Blessing in my deck. Isn't that freaking goated? Do I miss Meddling Mage a little bit here? Yeah, probably. All right, we're going to fetch to Thin here. We have an AK. Pretty happy to see that. Going to conserve the Flooded Strand here because we have Portents to draw into. Portents are important, as we like to say. All right, maybe I should keep the foil, the island, and the plow on this side of my hand because I'm going to plan on using it. Brass, cast AK. They fetch, resolve in Intuitions. Let's see, what can they do? They can Intuition if they get Cunning Wish. I guess I can just counter the Cunning Wish is the idea. I don't want them to know about the foil, right? Flooded Strand Island decks tend not to play foil, so I don't think they're going to expect it outright. But the thing is, if they look me up, they know that I'm going to play Grotog, and they know that Grotog contains foil, and so it's going to be a thing. So it's still a little bit of a battle, and I'm actually pretty excited to see how Ill-Gotten Gains beats foil in game 1. Like, they have a Duress, so Duress could get the job done, and of course Cunning Wish for Orm's Chan or Abeyance gets the job done. But of course I have multiple foils and counter spells. I'm just trying to draw foils and counter spells. Like I'm just going to be countering Cunning Wishes and Cunning Wish, Abeyance, Duress are the only cards I have to counter, right? Because then I can counter every Ill-Gotten Gains from there. All right. So Cunning Wish is the pick, which is sort of suspected. So the question becomes, can I let Cunning Wish resolve? Probably not, right? Because they can, well, I can like let Cunning Wish resolve and they might go for Hunting Pack or whatever, but all right. So the Plains is kind of useless. Yeah, I want more islands than Plains. I think I am going to main phase this accumulated knowledge even if I hand size. Maybe I should have kept I actually should have played the Flood Strand instead of the island last turn, just because if I have 2 islands in my hand, if I draw a second foil, it's pretty good. But, because I might draw a Portent as well. I don't want to cast that if I draw it. The thing is, they don't know. I might want to force them to play around Counterspell. So let's just do that instead. And step all AK. And then if they go for Cunning Wish here, I have to foil it because they can get the Hunting Pack into their hand. And if they have Hunting Pack in their hand, then that's like kind of bad news here. Oh, nice. We get Gush and Counterspell. Those are all good ones. We have an Opt. Gonna keep chilling. They go for Opt. They opt for Opt. They topped it. They like their card. Diabolic Vision. I guess it was like maybe conservative not to try to opt into... Well, if I opt into Career and Dryad, I can't even cast it and hold a Counterspell at the same time. So also, I countered Cunning Wish. They have 0 Cunning Wishes now. I think it's really hard for them to get Hunting Pack if they have 0 Cunning Wishes, right? So I think we're in like really excellent shape. Now they have to kill me with natural Brain Freezes. Wait. Yeah, they can't. They almost can do nothing because they have to Ill-Gotten Gains back the Cunning Wish because their Brain Freezes are in their sideboard. At least if they're playing the same list that they've been playing. More Counterspells and foils. I mean, seems fine to me. But yeah, they have no Cunning Wishes. I feel like we're in pretty good shape. Yeah, because this deck moved away from playing Merchant Scroll and playing main deck whatever. So I literally just have to counter 4 more copies of Ill-Gotten Gains. I have 3 counters right now. Unless they just like drop some main deck tech. It's a counterspell for me, dog. All right. Step 1 complete. We're going to Gush. So we want, Gush double foil. Okay, here we go. Green and play Q. I guess I'll play an island. I only have 1 more foil left in the deck, so I only have to hold 2 islands in my hand. I wonder what the plan was after they cast Ill-Gotten Gains. Like, could they do anything from there? Draw a card, slide hand. This is why we play sleight of hand instead of Mox Diamond. Psychotog or Portent. Portent seems... I want both. This is the first time, well, not the first time, but whenever you want both, it's always like a point against. Can I undo that? Okay. I wanted to opt bottom and then AK, but I suppose just doing this is fine. Opt bottom the land and AK, but instead I'm going to draw the land and then I'll have an opt and then I might not get my bottom advantage. Obviously AKs for 3 are just going to be more than my opponent can handle here. Okay, we did bottom of land in the end. I am going to discard a card. Should I fire my opponent instead? I think I should, because it also makes it so that... they're a 2-turn clock no matter what, but I don't know, fire targeting face is kind of funny. All right, and with 3 counter spells, my opponent has 3 cards in hand. We can counter literally everything they cast, save for 1 spell. All right. That was sick. Okay, so 4 Xantid Swarms out of the sideboard. So we are going to play Gaia's Blessing. Do we want Armageddon? Probably not. Do we want Revelation? Definitely not. Tormod's Crypt is their answer to Brain Freeze. Or Gaia's Blessing. What do? They bring in Tormod's Crypt and then they try to find it? They have to like get it into their graveyard with intuition. And then if I have 2 blessings, it doesn't work. The 2 Chain of Vapor. I mean, do I need 6 answers for Xantid Swarm? Do I need 4 Psychotogs in my deck, though? Probably don't. What if I just did... Okay, so Xantid Swarm is like pretty important to contain. Disenchant is pretty good because I actually want to like disenchant LEDs. It's actually kind of interesting. So they should board in the 1 hunting pack, which gives them an out for them to go for like a big hunting pack turn. And the way I fight that is I disenchant. Oh, but if they board in the 1 hunting pack, they can't use Lion's Eye Diamond to cast it. They have to cast it off Gemstone Mines and City of Brass, which they have 8. Oh, and Lotus Petal. I was thinking I could use Disenchant to cut them off green mana, but I would need Disenchant on Armageddon. All right, what if we have 5 answers for Xantid Swarm? I don't want to play a like forever sit back game. I want to like have a little bit of chance to like beat down them out, and just have like a smattering of like relevant interaction here. Couple disenchants, couple an Armageddon, so I can sort of keep them off green. Because now, like if they become a beast attack deck, then things are like a little bit harder for me. It's gonna have to depend on their plan. I mean, I have to imagine that I'm gonna bamboozle them a bit with my blessings though. Like I just don't look like a blessing deck, so like I don't think they're gonna go for the beast attack sideboard in route, and then I can always counter Cunning Wish. Yeah, I mean this is a hand, right? I drew the Gaia's Blessing, which is annoying, but I just needed to not draw the second one. Yeah, there's the Xantid Swarm, but we have the answer. Portent, perfect. Gush, AK, Flooded Strand. So Gush and Flooded Strand are good because it'll get me towards being able to cast Foil. But I'm not going to fetch, so I'm going to be forced to draw the AK. And I'd really rather just go Korean Dryad. Well, if I go Korean Dryad, Gush, Portent, pretty decent. And a Korean Dryad, Fire, Portent is the plan. And then I'll use Gush to keep on refueling. I guess this is better than a bunch of random cards because I also don't want to draw I also don't want to draw the second blessing. It's going to be like embarrassing if I drew the second blessing. See if they have like the nut draw here. Oh, they have Duress? It's pretty good. They're going to see the Gaia's Blessing, which is actually kind of funny. It's pretty sick Duress. This is like the best Duress of all time. I actually like would have been able to keep all my secrets. Well, luckily my hand doesn't contain any counter magic. So we're going to continue according to plan here. Because now they know they have to beat Blessing. It's harder for them to beat Blessing, especially if they didn't board in Tormod's Crypt. Their only answer to Blessing is Tormod's Crypt or to go for Hunting Pack. But 4 cards, they can have it. They can go Ritual, Cabal, Ritual, Cunning Wish. Ritual, Cabal, Ritual, LED, Cunning Wish would get the job done here. All right, we're going to draw AK. Let's start off with a Portent, see if we like what we see. Do we take the Opt and nothing else? Opt and nothing else, then we AK, then we Opt on our turn. And we're just looking for Plowshares and also Foil or Fire. But we miss out on a damage from AK main phase. I think we can draw better than this. Yeah, let's play Island because we're going to Gush next turn. If we had Mox here, we'd have a little bit of a Gush Mox turn, FYI, for the Mox lovers in the chat. But we've got a reasonable clock. We have, we still have Gaia's Blessing in our deck. But yeah, the Hunting Pack kill. Have I been saying Beast Attack? It's the same thing. The Hunting Pack kill is top of mind here. So we really need to be able to stop this Cunning Wish, which obviously we won't be able to outright. Also, would love to see a Psychotog. I get Gush, Sleight of Hand, Psychotog, and then they have to win on their next turn. But they're sculpting. I have a hard time believing they wouldn't be able to cast a big Hunting Pack soon. But I can beat 5 beasts. They attack. They get in for 12, but lose 2 beasts if I have a Gro-a-Tog. And then I'm at 5. They get in for 4. Okay, so it's if they have 5 storm, then I can't beat that. But I can't imagine they can like they have to draw some land sometimes, right? They opt bottomed. I can't believe they saw Gaia's Blessing. This game would have been trivially easy if they didn't duress and see Gaia's Blessing. Like, I don't even care that they took the fire. If I just had Gaia's Blessing in my deck. Too bad, so sad. I'm also like vulnerable to Chain of Vapor here on my Korean Dryad. It's like not ideal, but I guess I can chain back the Xanath Swarm. Seems bad. There's the second Gaia's Blessing. Unfortunately, that prices us into casting Gaia's Blessings these turns. There's a foil though. All right. I'd like my Gush and my Fire Ice. And a Portent, why not? All right, this is where Mox would be totally reasonable here. Gaia's Blessing being a green spell is super lame here. Oh, I could have Blessing their lands back in, or like lands in Cabal Rituals. All right, well, one bad thing about being a hyper Xerox deck is that you will find your 2 Gaia's Blessings often. Can we cast 6 spells this turn? Not quite. But we can find a fire eventually. All right, opponent deep in the tank. They know a Gaia's Blessing is in the deck, so it's still just a hunting pack. They're short on lands as well, so we could be in the get-in world here. Oh, they're going to go for it. Okay. How much storm is this going to be? Oh, they have the hunting pack in there. They don't have the mana source? Okay, sleight of hand. Sleight of hand, foil, and portent. Oh, I should have saw what they were trying. Oh, they just have hunting pack. Right. That's fine. It's like not a ton of storm, right? And I have a 5/5 Dryad here. How much storm is it? 6? Oh, that's probably enough. So if I Plowshares 1 and block another, I'm still going to die. Ugh, that's exactly enough. Okay, so they did move the hunting pack to the main deck. It's okay. I can draw... yeah. No outs. All right. Yeah, they had the second green source. Is what it was all it took. All right. Any insights into the sideboarding? They had the duress. Yeah. Gro-a-Tog would not have been better than Dryad here. So, yeah. Armageddon would have been good, though. Some of these cards would have been good. Do I want a bunch of counterspells and foils in my deck if I know they're going to have Xantid Swarm often? I feel like it's not that big of a deal. Oh, Food's here. Oh. Yep, coming downstairs. Okay. I don't need headphones. Let's see. Disenchant wouldn't have been that good. It feels really dumb to play 6 answers to Xantid Swarm, because then they just can, like, they might just like not have Xantid Swarm. I might not draw Xantid Swarm. But if they can't resolve their spells, they can't win. All right, let's just play a bunch of answers to Xantid Swarm, I guess. They're never going to put 2 on the battlefield is why I'm not going to run Power Closet, right? All right, seems fine. Can't keep this, honestly. No cantrips, way too many lands. Do have to keep this. All right, so we've got a lot of ingredients here. I think we have to bottom this Gush, bad as it seems. We could option to bottom the counterspell, but that seems a little loose. We're really trying to play this Dryad and then go from there. So yeah, we could bottom the Plow, but Knowing that they kept 7 and they're going to favor Xanath Swarm in their hands, it's probably like a thing. All right, we're going to opt. Do we bottom the Portent to get 1 deeper, or can we afford to miss for a turn? I think we can afford to miss for a turn given how good Portent is. Maybe I'll regret this, but yeah, there you go. I would have super missed, right? So opt bottom Portent, draw a Korean Dryad, opt bottom sleight of hand, draw sleight of hand anyways, plus get there. They have a 1-lander. That's funny. The 1-lander, like I feel so good. We erased the looseness here. We also erased the mulligan. They also discarded a card. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. All right. I think this game is looking really good for the good guys here. Yeah, it's looking really good for the good guys here. They do have a Bance, huh? Bottom the Flooded Strand. Should I play another Korean Dryad? I mean, they have 7 cards in hand. I have to maybe worry about them going for like a super turn. They're just going to go for a black source. But I think if they miss on that black source, doubling the clock is really excellent. And I can also just Plowshares my Korean Dryad twice to do it, and it'll make me better against Chain of Vapor. Yeah, I basically suspect that they're holding back all the goods so that they can go ritual, LED, Cunning Wish, whatever. But also they move the stuff to their main deck, so it seems unlikely. And I can always just counter the first ritual, right? Or the first advance. Well, now I have double counter spell, so I pretty much can't lose. Countering any spell here for clock reasons, right? Because I have a 5-turn clock right now, but it turns into a 3-turn clock. They play a spell. And yeah, now I'm countering like the first ritual because I think I can cut them off black mana. And I don't think they're going to discard when they have Lotus Petals in their hand. Well, their ops are much weaker than our ops, huh? Should we hold the Flooded Strand for any reason? I don't think so, because if I draw a Gush, I want to be able to go replay Island and hold a double counter spell again. Oh man, that extra Swords of Plowshares really killed me, huh? Lion's Eye Diamond. If I counter this, it becomes a 2-turn clock. A 2-ish turn clock. It turns off their City of Brass. I mean, Lion's Eye Diamond is like a very important part of them being able to cast Hunting Pack. So I think countering it is quite good. I can ice them. That's pretty good. Oh, I can fire them as well. Icing and firing is the same thing, I think. I guess this is like a little bit dangerous because now they can go ritual, Lotus Petal, ritual, ritual, ritual. Yeah. I mean, I could lose, but I think this is how you're supposed to do it, right? Okay, we got there. Never didn't have it. All right. See, that's a tougher matchup than it seems, you know? Tougher matchup than it seems. It's like we're ahead, but not like by a mile. More like by a quarter mile. On the play against Zendikar Games. Well, this game kind of doesn't excite me, but we're on the play, which is good. Can't play the Flood Strand because we can't opt because we won't have white if we have to Plowshares on a later turn. Oh, it's gonna be one of these. Ritual Hippie, Duress. Duress is fine. Black mid-range, huh? The opt is the best card in my hand, or the Plowshares if they are planning on playing like Withered Wretch or something. Taking the foil. So they're a combo deck with basic Swamp. It's not that common. Another opt. Another Flooded Strand. Maybe they'll play Ravenous Rats and then Cabal Therapy. No, it's just black-white. So they didn't want me to have foil for what? It's like they don't play interesting spells in their deck. Okay. Portent. Another AK's what I asked for. I like all these spells. I actually don't want a Korean Dryad right now, it feels like, but I guess it's okay to have a Korean Dryad. I don't know. Yeah. Guess it's okay. Like, I'm not going to like counter a Plowshares, right? But I mean, I have the Gro-a-Tog. I almost feel like I don't want this Korean Dryad anymore. Actually, I changed my mind. It's fine. Gerard's verdict. All right. Well, I might as well just discard cards that they know about, it feels like. I guess I'll pitch Gro-a-Tog. It's not going to deal 20 damage yet. And yeah, I might just, forcing them to play around Plowshares. The thing is, I really want to pitch this Flooded Strand. Maybe I just pitch the Flooded Strand then. It's not doing anything. They can Dust Bowl my other sources, but hopefully by the time I see another source, I'm going to have cast Korean Dryad already. Oh, that sucks. Counterspell or Fire Ice, huh? Is there anything I want to counterspell? I guess having a counterspell is kind of nice because they might cast Skeletal Scrying at some point, but I don't, well, it's kind of nice because they have 4 cards in hand and maybe I can just counter one of their removal spells and my Korean Dryads will survive. Plus they duress the foil, which I don't know, maybe means they kind of want to resolve something ever. Okay, no land drop. It's actually kind of bad. I want them to flood. If they don't flood, then nothing too exciting is happening. Right, play the Dryad. No surprise there. Plowshares. The only reason I would want to counterspell that is if they had Dust Bowl, but they don't have Dust Bowl. Do I counterspell another Gerard's Verdict? Not going to be a question. All right, we're going to play a Dryad. See, no reason not to just gush here. Oh, nice. We have a Gro-a-Tog follow-up. Okay. I might counterspell a removal spell still because, well, I kind of want to counterspell a removal spell on Tog. But I need to sort of like use my counters because eventually they can like duress my counters away, right? So we're kind of doing that thing. So yeah, we can't really run into Tog against another Wrath of God. But the fact that I use Wrath of God and not Plow is a good signifier for me. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now I shouldn't have played a additional island, huh? Okay, now I'm vulnerable to Cabal Therapy if they're playing the Nassif version. But if it's just Vindicate, then that's fine. All right, 2 cards in hand. I just need to draw into my next counterspell for their Skeletal Scrying. That's good enough. I think I'm going to maintain cards in hand here because they have Gerard's Verdict. I guess they could go Dust Bowl, resolve a spell. Gush, hard casting. Or am I? Because I can have Gush Foil instead. I think Foil is a 4-mana counterspell here. It's kind of nice though, so I can tap out and always counter their Skeletal Scrying. Yeah, pick that up. No, let's Gush. I'm like at hand size, so if I alt cast the Gush and I don't draw anything I can cast, then it's gonna be bad news for me. Ray of Revelation, huh? Okay. I mean, fire kills Exalted Angels sometimes. The Plains is still in my deck. They do have the Dust Bowl. That is annoying. Also means I have to ice my own land. Well, AK. Well, AK is going to hand size me. Have to chill. Awkward. Awkward. It's fine. They Plains cycle. Yeah, I think we're playing for super long game here. I think it's fine. I'm never going to have a response to this. I guess I could ice the Dust Bowl and then force them to use it on their end step, but All right, this is a window to consider casting Gush. Yeah, it's fine. I need a Gro-a-Tog, right? I have 6 cards in hand. Go like this. Go Green Dryad. Go Sleight of Hand. Take a Gush. Now we have Gush foil available. Although I might hard cast foil because, I mean, the only problem is, well, they have 5 cards left. They've used 3 removal spells. I mean, if they get a big skeletal scrying off, it is really, really bad. But I'm also trying to get cards out of my hand so that I can draw more cards. Like, trading foil for whatever is not great. Okay, they can dress my AK. That's obviously quite good for them, but I still have Gush, so. Yeah, foiling duress might have been better. I mean, I've got a 4th AK. And again, Skeletal Scrying is the only thing that matters here. I guess they can Cabal Therapy my Plowshares away. All right. 3 Plowshares and 2 Wrath of Gods used. Then, yeah, there's the... Well, they would have been able to dress it through. So I would have gone counter. I mean, I could have AK'd. I could have gone Gush, foil, and then AK into Counterspell. It's okay. I think we can beat a 7-card hand. I mean, their deck sucks, right? Doesn't it? All right. I think it's a good AK for 3 window here. So we can find some action. Gro-Tog plus Counterspell. Doesn't get better than that, right? I had to use all the... I don't know. I needed to counter that scrying. It's like too good. Vindicate. I mean, I have 2 more Gro-Togs and 1 more Dryad. I mean, they already cast the scrying. It's the only card that I'm trying to counter these days. And again, they can dress, so... Vindicate again. All right, 3 Vindicates, 3 Plowshares, and 2 Wrath of Gods casts. That leaves back 1. Well, I guess I could have waited 1 turn. Go ahead and ice this in case we draw something cool. We didn't. Okay, so I have 1 Gro-Tog and 1 Dryad left. And the Dryad might not be able to get big enough, which could be a problem. Foil, okay. So they have 1 Vindicate, 1 Plow. Oh, okay, this is actually going to kill me. Boo. Yeah, the only thing I could have done was let my Crane Dryad die. Oh, I should have started plowing these. Oops. And I used both of my fire ices. Double oops. Okay. Well, we can do nothing here. Plow. Okay, whatever. Let's just move on. Okay. I lost focus, I think. All right. So this is definitely good. These are definitely good. Hedging against freaking Phyrexian Furnace is always a tough call. Or not Phyrexian Furnace, but Phyrexian Arena. But speaking of Phyrexian Furnace, they actually definitely play that card, and then I don't want to do that. All right, so the plan is we don't play counter magic against their duress because it's so bad. They seem to not be playing Angel. But I guess Fire Ice is kind of like horrible, so. And we're like using Gaia's Blessing to like make our deck bottomless, right? They only have 4 Plowshares, so we should be able to exile the world. No. I mean, Gaia's Blessing also means that we can play Fear Disenchant. So we could just go like this. Okay, this seems okay. I feel like I'm maybe like a little low on Swords of Plowshares, but I kind of need all the tools. Yeah, I think I was a little low on Plowshares. They can't really decree unless I through my Armageddon situation, so seems fine. Maybe Disenchant's better than Counterspell. I can get it on my hand. Like, if I stop Phyrex Infernus, I can use Gaia's Blessing to make my game plan work, I think. Okay. I think this is a suitable plan. I also have to play much faster. Okay. Let's see. Sure, this is fine keep. Triple cantrip should be enough. Tent. Okay, second island, and then we can opt away the Psychotog. Plains, opt, bottom of the Psychotog. And Portent Areno. I guess I could have boarded out some creatures. Shuffle these. Portent into Portent. Portent to opt, bottom the Gush. Portent again. Guess that's fine. My no bind isn't working, which is losing me time. Pitch a Disenchant and an AK. Opt. Bottom the Gush. Portent. City of Brass, Gaia's Blessing, sleight of hand, seems fine. Shuffle, island, pass the turn, draw City of Brass, Cabal Therapy, sure. Naming AK. I mean, this is an early Cabal Therapy. What happens if they get AK? Like nothing? I don't know. Seems a little loose to me. I think I'm going to be happy to slide a hand and take the non-blessing card if it's an awesome one, but it's not, so take the blessing. And then I can blessing their Cabal Therapy. Dust Bowl with the activation. Vindicate. Vindicate is fine. I have to imagine I'm getting more blessing value from getting my cantrips back, like blessing for Dryad, Portent. Just make my deck stronger. It's just one Cabal Therapy. Do I want to draw Portent after I cast Gush? I think so. I also might draw a land, in which case I won't cast Gush. Yeah, Gush can wait. I mean, I could have also just like never cast Blessing because I need to like hold it, because I could have chilled. But I'm getting a Dust Bowl out of this. Let's see. 4 lands against 2. It's not like the best Armageddon ever. I guess I don't have to chill because I have Blessing. Oh, okay. I mean, it's kind of the same result, unless I draw another Gush. Yeah, unfortunately, it makes it really easy for them to come back from this. Oh, I did draw another Gush. Ooh, but I could play Psychotog. Yeah. Okay, now I should have thought this through. So I'm going to Gush. I go up to a lot of cards. I think Gushing is still excellent here. I think they almost exclusively all get, oh, but then I can go Armageddon. Go for City of Brass, and then I can blessing my Portent and a City of Brass back. And then all I have to do is discard an island, which doesn't seem that bad. I play Plains. Draw another Gush. Pretty decent news. Do I want to try to protect this Tog? I mean, they have a bunch of cards in hand. They probably have multiple Plowshares. They haven't cast any to this game so far. I mean, I think I'm just going to keep the cards flowing. I have like AK, I have Tog. Oh, now I'm definitely keeping the cards flowing. All right, 17. All right, yeah, we're going to go Tog because we can go Dryad with Counterspell up next turn. Clock is ticking. Plowshares, kind of let it go, right? I'm going to vindicate the gold source. Okay, that is fine for now. That's why I blessed the blessed like I did. Black, dress, counterspell, vindicate again. I have more lands in play than I do. Oh, scrying for 2. I mean, that's fine. I can live with that. I just need, not a good time to draw Pyroclasm. Opting first, because if I hit, I'm going to go ahead and play, but I can hit next turn, I suppose. Yeah, Portent's pretty good, because I can draw AK as well. It's going to be in any order. Shuffle, Portent. Okay, see your brass. Then I'm just going to play Psychotog next turn, or am I going to play Korean Dried Portent? I think Psychotog's lethal, so I should just play Psychotog. Okay, I fucked that up again, but no. Oh no, I'm going to draw both cards, so it doesn't matter. Guess they can Cabal Therapy my Psychotogs. Play Psychotog. I think the last one I'm going to hold up Counterspell. I might even try to gain a little bit of life off this. I guess I don't have to gain life. Okay, they're at 15. Oh, I guess if I played Korean Dried Portent, I wouldn't hand size. They're going to cycle Renewed Faith. Let's see, this is like 10 from Graveyard. Pitch the Disenchant. Gerard's Verdict, sure. I'll pitch Pyroclasm and another Disenchant. Wrath of God, sure. Right, Korean Dryad. I have 2 cards left in hand. Maybe I shouldn't be this whatever, but next turn I have Psychotog Counterspell up, potentially. I can try to kill them with this Korean Dryad. Armageddon again. Seems fine to me. Yeah, so we go Psychotog, then we go Armageddon, or just we go Armageddon and the Korean Dryad and play Psychotog afterwards. Oh my god, my binds, I need them to work. Yeah, that's a good play. They pick up the dragon. No removal though. No removal. Should I Armageddon or not? I think I still do. Do I want to draw the City of Brass? I don't think I do, actually. 2 Island Plains left in my deck. They're going to be a while away from Plowshares as well, or sorry, Wrath of God, so I can also just play this Tog with impunity. Yeah, this should be a lock, right? I'm going to time out this match, unfortunately. This just takes way too freaking long. Like mid-range! My nemesis. All right, what did we learn? They don't have any Phyrexian Furnace in their deck. Seems like a fine thing to learn. They also don't have any angels, so we're literally just trying to play Plowshares against Eternal Dragon. So we're just going to bring foils and we're going to cast them for 4 mana. They literally never cast Eternal Dragon. They just never go for it. It's like, and it gets Plowshared. Guy's Blessing is super nice here though, because it's like, now I know that I can play a super long game. Guy's Blessing is super nice here. Do we just play the Fire Ice because it draws cards? I mean, foil is kind of nice to hold up because I can foil their Skeletal Scrying, right? Because they're trying to cast Skeletal Scrying when I'm tapped out, and if I foil it, they just get super coolered. This is good enough for me. Cabal Therapy. Oh man. Unfortunately, that pause meant they can tell that I have foil in my hand if they know that. Because like the way this works is that if I can't make a spell, then it'll just pass priority instantly, and they know I don't have foil because of this. No possible play, yield all. But now they know that I have foil. Picked wrong anyways. Never punished. All right, we're going to go for a little sleight of hand. Why not? We'll take a Gemstone Mine over a Gush. Black, white. Pass. Let's see. Probably opt because I want an island. I'll take Aquarian Dryad though. And we'll play just City of Brass because they're out of range to do something relevant. If they go for Vindicate here, I have plenty of brass where that came from. And then obviously we can start blessing our brass back into our deck. Guess I shouldn't auto yield. I'm not going to foil a Plowshares though, or Vindicate. Skeletal Scrying. I'm not going to foil a Scrying for 2. That's just way too small. Maybe I foil Plowshares now? Oh. Well, if they go Duress Wrath of God, that's really bad for me. But if they don't have exactly Duress Wrath of God, they are in like really bad shape this game. Just how we drew it up. All right. I mean, I guess they could have double Wrath of God. Oh, I have double foil though. Too good at Magic. Don't need Plowshares. Don't need Plowshares. Don't need Blessing. Don't need Plowshares. I'll bless the Plowshares if I need it. Plowshares now. I don't want this, I'm pretty sure. Plowshares, sure. Should have plowed in response to the other card. Island. I'm gonna bless myself and get back a City of Brass, a Gush, and Plowshares to be safe because they're getting up there in mana. Sure. 3 cards in hand. Oh, they're dead. Yeah. I guess could be Decree Cycle here to survive. Yeah. But they can't stack it up. Oh, I mean, I guess I have to worry about double Decree now. Seems kind of bad if I do. Yeah, I can't play around double Decree. I just need to draw the 1 Pyroclasm, I think. Dust Bowl. Oh, Eternal Dragon is not going to be it. Good thing I shuffled back Plowshares, though. Also, it dealt 2 damage to them. That's nasty. Portent is fine. Oh, I should have Portent them. Damn it. It's okay. I am looking for... I mean, Counterspell Gush is obviously going to be pretty good. I think I need to draw the Gush. There goes token. I guess Counterspell Gush isn't... it's pretty good. I'm just... Okay, Duress. I guess I'll Gush and Counterspell this. Okay, it has to be runner removal spell or obviously another Decree, and we play on. I think that's... Ugh. Oh, this is so awkward. I should probably kill them, right? If it's another Decree, it's just so bad, though. So I can attack, but then they might top deck it. Let's just go for the throat. I have 1 card in hand. It has to be exactly Decree, and they yielded. All right. Is this a bad matchup? Is it a bad matchup? Because it says on the screen. It says on the screen here that I won the matchup. Okay, so I sideboarded Ryan in game 2, right? The foils were actually pretty good because you can foil Wrath of God, and then you can foil Skeletal. You want to foil Skeletal Scrying and Wrath of God. Those are like the super bamboozles. And yeah, this deck just doesn't run Exalted Angel anymore. So the Source of Plowshares becomes irrelevant. But if they have like Phyrexian Furnace in their deck, I just like lose. It's like one problem with the Blessing plan. You kind of need 3 blessings to beat a Furnace, and you have to have Disenchant. So, yeah. Phyrexian Furnace control is going to be a problem. Land still also plays Phyrexian Furnace. It's like super annoying. How do we make this deck better against Furnace? Like Color Herd gets Furnaced. Is there any way to kill a furnace for free? Like a split card that says kill a furnace, but it's also draw 7. Nantuka Vigilantes are kind of interesting, I guess. Null Rod? No, Null Rod's crazy, right? Because then they can just disenchant. Null Rod doesn't affect enough decks. It's hilarious against the decks it does affect, though. And this deck could play 1 Null Rod. It wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing in the world. All right. Battling B Paris 15. We're on the play. Die roll luck is happening. What have we got? What have we got? No cantrip. Sideboarding. Fire Ice. Plowshares. This hand is pretty bad. It has kind of good interaction. It has kind of good stuff. So I go Island Pass. Then I go Ice looking for Island. If I miss on Island, it's close. It's pretty bad if my opponent has Wasteland. I think we might rock it just because if we draw Island, it's quite good. And we've got 3 looks at Island by turn 3. Let's see what my opponent does. They play Mox. Okay. Mox Wayfarer. Oh, they're going to go to the Mox Wayfarer, no land, and then I'm just going to plow the Wayfarer. Seems fair to me. Oh, plow plus portent, huh? I'm gonna go with fire here, I think, because Plowshares is actually really important to hold against Terrageddon. And then also Plowshares I can cast off basic planes. Fire I have to cast off City of Brass. So if they follow up with Wasteland, I can portent into what I need. They're gonna... Oh, they literally don't have lands. See, this is why you don't play Weather Wayfarer decks, kids. Okay, this is all really excellent news for me. So this discarded a card, and they've pseudo missed a land drop, all in service of trying to draw a card eventually. Yeah, and then we're gonna foil this, I think, because, well, Psychotog is gonna kill them, so I could just foil the Plowshares that comes instead. Or I could pitch the Psychotog. I think I'm going to pitch the AK. Play Psychotog. Pitch the AK, cast Psychotog, gush my problems away. Seems fine to me. I mean, if I just like play Psychotog and foil the Plowshares, it's so good though. And I'll have a chance to gush before, because I didn't want to pitch a live card to foil is a problem. I'd like to pitch trash, and AK is not trash. Plowshares, yeah, this was the plan. Yeah, I'll pitch a Gemstone Mine. I think the islands are fine here. I don't have colored spells. I have the City of Brasses back up. Do I just kill them though? Oh, they're waiting for my upkeep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 7 is 12, so it's not lethal anyways. I don't know why my graveyard's over here now. Oh, they auto-yielded? I'm going to max pressure here. They have a Sylvan in play. So if I deal 4 damage to them, it is a breakpoint. Yeah. Oh, they're playing the sexy version. You really want your Wayfarer back? I have 1 land in play. Blessing. Yeah, I'll take an AK. Sounds good to me. All right, should I try and kill them? pitch AK, play AK, pitch AK, play AK. So I'll have 5 cards in hand plus 6 cards in graveyard. 5 plus 5. 1 short. All right, get in there. We'll do it next turn. Oh, I'd have 4 in hand. Do I try to kill them with Tog or wait till I have backup? They're gonna find another Plowshares eventually. Now they have 4 in their deck that they're looking at. Oh, they have Core Haven. Okay. I don't have a main deck answer to Core Haven besides putting a second creature into play. Quirion Dryad. They cycle a Secluded Step. And I'll go for Portent. Looking for AKs and Gushes and more creatures. Works for me. Okay, well now I'm just going to triple cantrip next turn. Oh, they're actually just like going to take a lot of damage next turn. Wasteland, sure. I mean, this is like a little problematic, but I think I can still manage. Like the problem is as soon as they draw a counterspell or as soon as they draw Swords of Plowshares, I'm like a little bit cooked, but like, you know, it's like, okay, so they draw Swords of Plowshares, so I just need to draw another Dryad. It's not the end of the world. Like they can't ever tap out of the Core Haven right now, so they have 1 mana in play. So it's going to be a while. Yeah, let's start off with a Gush. No sense in hiding it, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we have a foil. Okay, GG. We have 2 foils. I mean, yeah. Do I play an island? If I draw an island, I play an island? Do I need to protect the City of Brass from Wasteland? I don't really think so. I mean, I gotta play a land, right? I want to cast this AK for 2. It's a tasty one. Okay. They fog the Sideboarding and get another extra damage in here. Plowshares. Yeah, Plowshares is fine. If they play a Terravore, it's going to be like a 3/3 and I can kill it anyways. GG. All right, game 2 against Abundance Blessing guy. They have Pyroblast, which makes Hydroblast kind of interesting. All right, so do I want Fire Ice just to contain Weathered Wayfarer? I almost feel like Weathered Wayfarer basically doesn't matter, but it's sort of free. All right, so I want all the creatures. I think I definitely want to cut foils. As you saw from that game, it is not hard for me to foil and protect, foil to protect my guys, and then my guys win. But I can also just play maximum guys because they do have a lot of Swords of Plowshares in their deck. So yeah. So I definitely want Blessing. And I think Disenchant and Ray of Revelation are actually quite good. They play a few more enchantments like Abundance and Sylvan Library. And they have Core Haven. So it's like I want 1 Armageddon. So I think we can cut the foils. And honestly, I feel like we can cut the counterspell or cut some counterspells because they don't have like a ton of spells I have to counter. I basically just have to counter, and nothing I have to counter can't be solved by just using removal a lot of the time. So I feel like if I go 2 counterspell for 2 disenchants, that's like fine. Like I can't disenchant a Terravore or a Swords of Plowshares, but I can do the rest. Like, I'm just going to draw more cards than them. I have to be worried about Phyrexian Furnace type stuff. Maybe I'll play 1 counterspell over 1 opt. Their published list has hidden gibbons in the sideboard. It's kind of sweet. All right. A little bit of a vibey one. Or like Armageddon just for Core Haven. Oh, this is a hand. Yeah, live by the sword, die by the sword, right? Plow the Wayfarer, then triple AK. I mean, I think even if they do like double wasteland me or whatever, like I'm eventually going to draw islands. Green mana. Yeah, here comes the Gibbos. We'll turn 1 Gibbous. Okay, more lands has never been unwelcome. There's the Wasteland. Double Gibbous. Okay. That was a mistake. It's okay. I hit the auto yield and then this is where I am. Oh, okay. I got double plowshares. All right, we're gonna portent. We're gonna look for some additional lands. Okay, don't mind any of these. All right, so we're just gonna double plowshares, double gibbous, and then that's life. Sylvan Library. Wayfarer. My Wayfarer is not looking that good. Pass. I mean, I really wish I didn't hand size by auto yielding. I had a feeling because I clicked it. The thing was like they did their last thing and my yield got added to the queue, but I strategically missed a land drop so that their Weathered Wayfarer wouldn't get turned on, right? They don't pay any life and they're going to continue to play lands. Interesting. In for 4, right? Yeah. All right. AK, turn these guys on. Dryad, huh? Dryad double plowshares. Dryad plowshares, take a giant hit, get my own Dryad plowshared. Alternately double plowshares. I think my Dryad has to start cooking. Unfortunately, every Gibbous I plowshares is going to improve the Sylvan Library. I can't beat double Gibbous. They have 3 in their sideboard. They drew 2. It's like good for them. Yeah, and they have the plow. That was the risk I had to take. All right, I could take 7. Let's see, take 7 and then Blessing, Plowshares, Wasteland, Step. City of Traders. I mean, if I have the Armageddon at some point, I'm actually in pretty okay shape. Let's see, take the 7, go down to 6. AK, go for the basic land plowshares. Plowshares, Gaia's Blessing plowshares. I think it's got to be AK here. Tapping Gemstone Mine is so bad. I go plowshares and chill. I could also just go plowshares, sleight of hand, and not use extra Gemstone Mine counters. Okay, so I have to plowshares, but then I take 4, so then I really need a creature. So it's like AK, draw a creature. Yeah, I should have double plowshared that turn knowing that they were going to plowshare. I mean, it's just damned if I do, damned if I don't, right? Okay. Well, I might draw. Okay, so maybe it's plowshares, Gaia's Blessing. And then, yeah. Okay, that seemed okay to me because now if I draw an island, I'm in great shape. Yeah, I mean, I go island. Psychotog AK. Psychotog, yeah, Island Psychotog AK, gain a ton of life, get back in the green. Take 4 damage, but like, and then they still don't have Rishin Port. And I can also use my Gemstone Mines to stay under their Weathered Wayfarer. Yeah, I guess if I double plowshared Gibbons, they would have to like dig with their Sylvan. They're not even digging with their Sylvan Library. I don't know what they're doing. I fumbled this game though. I mean, my play was fine, assuming that they didn't draw plowshares. But like, I haven't presented a creature all game. The first plowshares they're very likely to have. It's like the second plowshares is the one I should be more like, oh, they probably like won't, whatever, you know. The other thing I should note is that I probably beat them because I can answer their Gaia's Blessings, but they can't answer mine for the most part. So I could just like Gaia's Blessing forever. Why did they upkeep Cycle Secluded Step? It doesn't make a difference. Oh, it does because they put 2 back. They go 1 deeper. I mean, I think they've basically they should be at like 4 life right now. Like they have 2 cards in hand. They should be at 4 life right now, 100%. I mean, except for like the turn they shuffled, like a couple turns they shuffled. So they're obviously trying to get rid of dead stuff and preserve their life. But the rest of the time, just sink it in, right? all the plowshares you have in the world are like very good. Okay, I have 5 lands to their, I have 4 lands to their 5, but 2 of them are going to blow up, but they're going to add 1. So it's going to be 4 lands to their 4. So I kind of let this gemstone mine die. Because if I draw island, I can go tap island, this gemstone mine down to 1. Then they can like play a land. I'll respond to the City Traders trigger by casting AK. Okay, now they paid the 8. All right. Now they're using gemstone mine to get their... Oh, interesting choice. Oh, they can play a Terravore now? Yeah, that's pretty good. But if I draw Gaia's Blessing, I can kill this Terravore. 4, 2, draw a card. Double Gro-a-Tog. All right, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get a Gro-a-Tog in play and have a Swords of Plowshares, which won't work, right? So I just need an AK into double Plowshares plus White Source. Because if I go Sleight of Hand, I take Swords of Plowshares, then I play Gro-a-Tog, and then I can't take the damage from the City of Brass here. Go Island. Float to Gush. Has to draw exactly 2 Plowshares or something. Okay, let's just move on. I should worry about clock. All right. Didn't play around the double Gibbous, but Gibbous is really good against me, and I knew it was really good against me. It's not like any of that changes. Do I want to play Pyroclasm just because sometimes I can double Pyroclasm? Seems kind of thin. And the other question is if I want to play Hydroblast for their Red Blast. Also seems thin. Oh, their Red Blast is actually really good against my Gro-a-Tog, but there's nothing I can do about that. All right, I feel like I still have the tools. I shouldn't be like too... Like the way that match went obviously wasn't ideal, but I honestly think my 1 Armageddon is like pretty relevant. It seems irrelevant, but I think it can get the job done. The real question is if I want to run second Ray of Relation. I really like the idea of sometimes blowing up their moxes, but double blowing up library is like really hard for them to deal with. I mean, what if I just blow up all their stuff, right? Let's try the blow up all your stuff strategy. I don't like boarding out cantrips, but I think if I board out cantrips and bring in disenchants, then we'll both move through our deck at the same speed. And because they won't have Sylvan Library, and if we both move through our deck at the same speed, or I'll always move through my deck faster, right? Even if I'm only playing 8 cantrips instead of whatever. A lot of my cantrips being sorceries are going to be good into Gibbous, so there's that as well. I guess we keep this. I mean, it's got an answer to Wayfarer, and I'm not obligated to cast in. I mean, this hand is kind of obligated to cast Instance. Should I get rid of second Gush? Probably not. Well, yeah, I think I get rid of second Gush. It's gonna be so hard to cast Gush twice here. And we know how they are with their wastelands. Play a Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Mox. Library situation? No. I do have to worry about Rishon and Port. I don't have like a good Port answers. Abeyance. I mean, I guess I'll fetch because I might draw Querying Dryad. Flood Strand. Treetop Village. No need to fetch yet. I might want to get basic planes in my future. Another Flooded Strand. Still chilling. I mean, 5 cards on 5. I have a Gush. Be in combat. And we will ice this Treetop Village for a little Time Walk action. Counterspell. Can I get a Tog, please? Am I willing to Gush for a Tog? Probably not still. But yeah, it's a little bit annoying. I do really like how Gaia's Blessing has felt like a pretty natural fit for this deck. Like, Blessing means I don't have to worry about running out of colored sources in long games. I can like let them get wastelanded. I can Armageddon away my planes and shuffle it back, knowing that I'm going to find it again. Like, it's all quite fine, I believe. There's the wasteland. They waste. That's okay. They animate. They attack. It's an easy Plowshares for me. Another Gush. We all hard cast Gush into into bounce cast gush, and then we feel pretty good about that because we have Sylvan Library under control here. Sure, I'll counterspell Hidden Gibbons. I don't mind that at all. Tog, gush, one disenchant, another gush. So we go island, cast gush, 7 cards in hand. Gaia's Blessing, disenchant. Okay, we are gassed. All right, we can blow up a mox. We can blow up stuff. We can blow up a Terravore. God, if they cast a Terravore right here, it's actually hilarious. Abundance. Yep. I have 2 disenchants in my hand. All right. Disenchant the Abundance. For sure. That was always going to happen. So the question is, this turn, do I want to go Gaia's Blessing Portent? I want to go Portent, Gaia's Blessing Gush. Do I want to Gaia's Blessing back anything? Gaia's Blessing plus Portent? I think we'll play the Tog. I don't know what I want more of in my deck yet. Like if I need to rescue a disenchant or if I need to rescue... I think I probably don't need to rescue disenchant. I probably just get counterspell gush gush. And then I'm also saving the blessing so that I can... I think I might not exile the City of Brass though. I have several more and I already have the blessing in my hand and I have an additional City of Brass in my hand. All right, let's see what happens. If they play like another like important thing, then like if I have to use this disenchant, then I might want to have some disenchants in my deck. 5 mana, 6 mana, hardcast Angel. Sure. Fetch. White mana. Weathered Wayfarer. Okay. Plowshares off the rip completely. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start with Gush so that they can't Wayfarer. Then we'll opt. We want an AK. Then we'll Portent to see what's going on. Oh, if we Portent, we can't Blessing, but we're holding up AK, so that's what we're going to plan on playing. Disenchant Quirion Dryad, so we can shuffle away the disenchant, which I think is pretty good here, or keep it. And we'll have the Fire Ice. Okay, so that's a no shuffle. And then we're going to Plowshares the Angel. And then we're going to draw Fire Ice, and then we're going to Fire Ice the Weathered Wayfarer. If we feel like it, we're not even forced to, but maybe, you know, maybe they play the second one and it attacks. I mean, I want to be able to play my lands, right? I guess the only thing is I'm exposing some extra lands to Armageddon. Why don't I go disenchant the Mox, and then hold up Quirion Dryad plus fire. Quirion Dryad plus fire doesn't work. But I can just draw the next disenchant and then I'll bless one more disenchant back into my deck. Well, yeah, and this is actually no, let's just fire this guy. Red one. Because it actually doesn't matter, right? So now we're going to draw a Quirion Dryad. We're not going to play any more lands because we don't have to. Just in case they're playing some of the good stuff. And then disenchanting the Mox is going to grow my Dryad. And then we have another disenchant on top of our deck. So our disenchants are like all in the queue. They cycle, probably do nothing from there. Wasteland, whatever, Wasteland my Brass. Okay. Draw. We can AK. Ooh, AK into AK, pretty good. Hashtag blessed here. Hashtag blessed/blessing. Oh yeah, our deck is going to be very small. See what I said about, I'm like, even if I put a bunch of dumb stuff in my deck, I'm just going to be able to outdig. They're going to pyroblast this. That's how desperate they are, which is good. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, okay, fine. Like, I'm just going to bless AK's back. Gemstone Mine. Let's bless before, well, yeah, let's just bless all the card draw and maybe a Plowshares and a Disenchant. No. Yeah, Plowshares and Disenchant is fine. Oh yeah, let's just get our Plowshares back in, because we want unlimited Plowshares. Sleight of Hand. AK. Yeah, this is looking like a really good Gaia's Blessing deck, guys. Like, how good is this spot? I mean, I almost want to like not cast this AK because it could, maybe the last card is their other Pyroblast. Okay, that is a problem. That is a 9/9 Terravore. They have 0 cards in hand. I guess we'll AK. Okay. Drawing too many of those. Okay, hold on. We died. We literally died. I put all the Plowshares back in my deck, though, by the way. Oops. Oops. All these are not good cards. No. Why did they beat me by 1 card? I have so many cards in hand. Oh, the spot wasn't good. The spot wasn't good. I said the spot was good. It wasn't good. Oh, Lord. All right, well, lesson learned, I guess. Oh, the stupid Mox just literally didn't matter. It's okay. We'll draw Gro-a-Tog. Oh man, they all of their land contribution is from themselves too. Oh, bomb for 9. It's okay. We'll draw AK for 4 here. Man, look at all these cards I have. It all doesn't matter. Big draw step. No! Oh, God. Ah. Come on. I deserve this. I put Gaia's Blessing on my sideboard. Oh, man. Oh, I've never been more sad than with 6 cards in hand. None of them do anything. It's all because I boarded out Opt. It's all because I boarded out Opt so that I could have more Disenchants because I thought it mattered. Oh, the humanity. Okay, let's assume I cast Opt, right? Oh my God. That's always one card away. Nope, not quite. I would have missed. Oh, man. I had 5 Disenchants against a deck that has 5 enchantments total. Damn, that's gross. That's so sad. I had 4 Plowshares in my deck that I blessed specifically because of this. Yikes. No, we didn't win the die roll and we lost a match. Oh boy. It's all over. The Gro-a-Tog streak is over. This hand, not my favorite. This player likes to play Enchantress. If it isn't Enchantress, then we have to do the 4 counterspell plan, which doesn't always work, but it can work. Yeah, I mean, if that's the plan, that's the plan. It's the only thing that works game 1 when you don't have Meddling Mage, basically. So game 1, you can do Meddling Mage Dimming Argothian, and then you might be able to get there. But also, I just need 4 total counterspells across the game. I can have 2 less counterspells for every revelation I draw. I mean, I guess I'll do the max portent next turn. Gush is pretty fine because I do need to have a gush in the clip to fuel double foils. Okay, we're going to take a portent and nothing else here. A card. Double presence off the rip would be a little too fast for me to handle, probably. But it'll also depend on what the nature, like the vibe of this player. Like if they understand what this matchup is about. But yeah, this is pretty quick start. Plus I was on the draw, so they can probably jam. But the One Ray of Revelation is going to make things a little bit more chill. It's like Tog is irrelevant. Counterspell. Counterspell, but nothing else. Ugh. Land number 3. Counterspell, 2 lands. I have to draw AKs, honestly. I would have taken a foil. And I'm actually going to play Island because I actually want to have 4 islands in play for double gush. Okay, we drew Counterspell anyways. All right. They're going to get through their deck pretty fast now. Probably faster than I can find all these counters. It's turn 4, by the way. Who says this is not a combo deck? But I do have the Ray of Revelation. So that gives me a little bit of comfort. But yeah, if they have like double Opalescence here, or Opalescence into Replenish here, things could get dicey. Yeah, okay. They found 2 Opalescence in the top 30. I shouldn't be like too surprised. If I find a foil, obviously it's insane. Didn't I shuffle? Aren't these... What the... Let's see. Draw... It's triggered... Yeah, I shuffled. I shuffled and drew the exact cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Parallax Wave. Sterling Grove. It's like 3, 4, 5, 14. I mean, I have to draw Ray of Revelation and only Ray of Revelation. I can't even Ray of Revelation now. Okay. That's good enough for me. Little turn 4 victory for my opponent. Okay, instead we go into this mode here, which prioritizes stopping them from doing anything. Don't have to play Swords of Plowshares. Their only creatures are going to be like Xanted Swarm. Don't really need to play lots of Psych-Tog, and don't really want to play a ton of foil. The foil is like okay. Don't really need to play a ton of foil. It's kind of nice to have just in case they like cast Replenish or whatever, but just keep 1 foil. 1 foil, 1 counterspell. 1 foil, 1 counterspell and rip it. Do I have to like... I think playing cantrips is fine because I'm looking for Pyroclasms most of the time. Gaia's Blessing. I guess if I play 5 creatures, they can't... I'll always have a creature at the end that they can't Plowshare. Actually, all of their stuff exiles. I mean, there's nothing to counterspell that I can't disenchant. So I'm really just counterspelling their Plowshares. Counterspelling or foiling their Plowshares. But for the most part, I can just like let them resolve and focus on Armageddoning them as my way to stop Plowshares. I guess if the only card I'm trying to counter is Plowshares, then I should cut foil. Foil is pretty fine. We're just going to be the Armageddon deck. Okay. Shirt, flowers. It's pretty good. They're going to get their 2nd mana. Don't need a 2nd Pyroclasm. Let's go ahead and opt. Look for... some sources, some cantrips. Disenchant is not a source and it's not a cantrip, but it is a card I want. I have to... they can play Presence next turn. And then I'm just going to try to gush for the source. I could have boarded out Gro-a-Tog. Would have just been a counterspell though. I think counterspell would have been good on the play here. Well, I wasn't going to board out all my Gro-a-Togs, right? I only have 2, so I board out Query Dryad instead. I have always felt pretty good about this matchup, but I am beginning to feel less pretty good about this matchup. Sure, I don't play a single artifact or enchantment, right? Okay. You have mana. We've established that. I mean, they can combo it with whatchamacallit. There we go. I have no targets. Guess we just play Gro-a-Tog and let it die. It's almost a waste of colored mana because I want to play all 3 of these. All right, so let's just chill. I mean, I could bless my ops, but I think I don't want to do that yet. What you gonna do with all these carpets? Okay, so the problem is Sterling Grove. I actually hate this. So I had a pretty good strat, which was just like, oh, I should just try to draw cards. I'll draw more cards. And I have all the answers to their engine. So I completely suppress the engine, right? The problem is they have Sterling Grove. And they have Opalescence, so they can just like cast all this stuff, and then they can just like get their Opalescence set up, and Opalescence with Sterling Grove, and I have to like disenchant through the Sterling Grove, which can just buy another Sterling Grove. So, and then Replenish puts double Sterling Grove in play, and they have Xantid Swarm. So I think this is actually pretty rancid. I need to have like, I actually have to have Meddling Mage for this matchup. I think I have like good tools, but Meddling Mage is just so much better than Query Dryad or Gro-a-Tog here. Flooded Strand's a nice pickup, but lets me grab the plains. They're just gonna land go. They have 4 cards in hand. Undoubtedly some number of Plowshares in their hand. Yeah, so maybe I just cut Query Dryads and I just do 20 damage Gro-a-Tog. I just play a super long control game, and then my entire game is just 20 damage Gro-a-Tog. Sleight of hand. Gush, sleight of hand, Tog, pass. Replay Island, pass, or just sleight of hand, or just play Island, pass, or just play Island, sleight of hand. I have a land drop. Armageddon would be nice. Kind of need to go Tog Armageddon in the same turn though. Take a foil. Foil feels pretty nice here. Play out the island, so they make a ton of mana. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I need Tranquil Domain. So 4 cards in hand for a million years now. Another Pyroclasm. So we're going to go Gush, Gro-a-Tog. Gush, Gro-a-Tog don't foil the Plowshares. Or we can just bless. Bless up, fam. Probably. Another Gro-a-Tog. All right. Kind of need to draw some AKs. Plains. Play plains. Feed 1 Gro-a-Tog to the Plowshares. Meddling Mage is just so good here. I don't want to play Meddling Mage over Gaia's Blessing. Gaia's Blessing was so sick in 3 straight matches or 2 straight matches. Xantid Swarm. I mean, I have the foil on my hand, and I also need Disenchant. I also need City of Brass. Maybe they'll time out. These Carpenter Flowers are actually like kind of funny. They're like just eating clock. It's gonna be like that kind of win. We're also playing like the smallest 6-rounder of all time, so I think I'm in at 6 and 2. There's the City of Brass. So now we go Brass Pyroclasm pass. The problem if I don't Pyroclasm is that they can resolve a like enchantment and draw a bunch of cards off of it before I have a chance to do anything. And I don't want, like, I'm not trying to counter something I could disenchant, right? But if they do go Enchantress's Presence, they can draw so much off their Carpets of Flowers. They can make so much mana off their Carpet of Flowers that by the time I actually like get to disenchant it on my turn, they might have drawn like 10 cards. They can also just go double Presence. But yeah, we have to run Tranquil Domains, I think. It sounds bad because Ray of Revelation is really good. Like, Ray of Revelation is gas. But yeah. I don't mind a Tranquil Domain. Flooded Strand. I really don't want this Gro-a-Tog to get Plowshared, and I really don't want to foil Plowshares from this spot. I just need more card draw. Yeah, Armageddon. I have the Plains as well. Armageddon's like super blank right now. Had a feeling. All right. No need to let my Gemstone mine die for no reason. I'll take a Gemstone because I can go Armageddon. They're just going to float a bunch of mana, but then I'll have the foil. Okay. So I'm just looking for Gush now, ironically. So I can go Armageddon. Well, they can float enough mana to double Plowshares. Well, I guess I'm just going to Armageddon them and play 2 creatures and foil. Like, I'm just going to set up like a completely disgusting Unholy Armageddon. Yeah, I hadn't fully considered that they could like they can draw enough cards in one turn. I'm always used to them sort of like sequentially drawing cards. Gush, Armageddon, Gro-a-Tog foil time? I don't know. I mean, what if I draw like Counterspell? Well, they have the oh, I did draw Counterspell. Okay, hold on. So 3 for Gro-a-Tog is this. And then 4 for Armageddon. So I need to fetch out 1 island. There you go. Island, and black mana and blue mana. And then I go, so I have 7 floating, I would get, and I have 3 floating, then I play an island. Oh, I need to fetch out 1 more island. I have 8 floating, go Armageddon. Oh, they didn't float. All right, Gro-a-Tog. And then I guess I'm going to go AK for 2. I would just have discarded if I went AK for 2 there. Sarah Sanctum, triple Plowshares. It's pretty good. Fishing Island and probably pitch Island and Counterspell because I'm not really countering anything. I'm just gonna AK. Okay, they're dead. Is this enough? It's like not enough. There's the Blessing. Attack for, hold on. Okay, full pitch is 5 + 7 is 1 short. But if I do this, now it's 5 + 12 is also short. I don't need Flooded Strands. I'm not gonna like put back a ton of islands, but I'm gonna keep the Plains in the City of Brass. And I think opt, and I'm not gonna get put back like a ton of Gushes. Guess I don't need a lot of Armageddon, right? All right, whatever. They have all the mana in the world. The Armageddon strat doesn't work. It's like literally doesn't work. They have all this mana. It was like worse for me. I could have just played Gro-a-Tog and been like, okay, I'm going to counter all their Plowshares. Exploration, Mirri's Guile, actually pretty good. I'm going to disenchant that actually. 5 mana for what? P-Wave? Sure. They kind of have to Seal of Cleansing the P-Wave. Okay, that's not the end of the world. Huh. Okay, we have to disenchant this Mirri's Guile and then try to portent into our next gold source. We still have quite a few available. Yeah. Okay, the Armageddon plan doesn't work against Carpet, right? It just like doesn't work at all. I mean, their most recent published deck list only has 2 Carpet. They also have the Sacred Ground. The Sacred Ground kind of doesn't matter. I'm always going to disenchant it. Oh, there's the city. All right. I think we're gonna AK. Oh, we're lower on time now. Damn it. AK. Okay. Dryad. Oh, they don't play Blessing, so I actually only need to play. I don't have to play a ton of creatures. Okay, we got there. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do full control. We're going to stop everything that they have. And we're not going to worry about getting them because they have, like, I'm not going to be disenchanting Carpet of Flowers, and they only have Plowshares and Wave. And I have to stop Replenish anyways. Like, Counterspell and Foil are going to be like, are like crucial for stopping Replenish. So we're just going to max on interaction. Like, literal max interaction is fine. Like, if they can never win, I have the guy's blessing. Like, I am the blessing. The only problem is, can we win in time if we board out all our creatures and just try to control them? I hope so. I mean, I guess we can play more than 60 cards. It's not the end of the world. It's like literally okay. But the rule can just be like, we don't play a creature until we like are in a spot where we know we can like make the creature like super good, right? And if that's the plan, like, shouldn't we only play Gro-a-Tog? Okay, seems fine. I have to counter Sterling Groves and Replenishes. I have to blow up Enchantresses and Pyroclasm Enchantresses. I've got so much on my plate. I can't just be casting Korean Dryad. Oh, like a little double opt, double counterspell. Hand. Counterspell on the draw. No answers to things. I think it's a mulligan. All right. This, wow, double AK is pretty enticing. Double AK into the disenchants. No, let's just mulligan to 5. All right. This couldn't have gone better, right? They go Carpet and then Rev, or Carpet into whatever. Could be a problem, but right now it's not a problem. Miri's Guile. Exploration. Blow up the Miri's Guile question mark. Seems fine to me, considering they didn't play a meaningful spell. Okay, I was going to play Gro-a-Tog, but now I'm not, obviously. Oh, wait. I guess they have the Xanath Swarm, so I should have played Gro-a-Tog. Yep. Obviously should have played spells on my turn. There's the island. Feels like a Portent U situation. No, they have the shuffle in play already. Pyroclasm, opt, Gro-a-Tog. So we can draw opt, bottom the Tog, draw Pyroclasm. Although additional Tog might be good just to speed up my clock. Oops, still gonna bottom the Tog. And still gonna draw Pyroclasm. Because now we have coverage for the next, like, we can actually just counter the Argothian, which is all we need to do. Carpet, sure. Double counter. How far away from double counter? One more land. Seems pretty reasonable to go for Tog double counter, just because, like, I ran out of card draw. I guess I should have topped Tog then if I was planning on going Tog double counter spell. Attack for 1. It's gonna be a long game for them. This would be a little bit better if this was a Dryad, actually. Should I have gone only Dryad? I don't think so. For 1. I mean, now I can stop every counter spell, or like every Plowshares. Like, there's no way they're gonna cast all Plowshares and P Waves. Do we counter Miri's Guile? I guess I would like to get counters out of my hand because I can't cast them all right now. Swords of Plowshares. Okay. Counterspell. Maybe I let this go, actually. I don't really want to foil an Argothian if they have it. Like, if they were like using everything as bait, then I don't want to do that. Like, we're gonna start drawing cantrips, right? Right? I have 2 AKs in my graveyard. Okay, land go, land go. Carpet of Flowers, trigger go. Gush. Main phase, island. I mean, I guess I could consider not playing islands. Guess it doesn't hurt. Now I'm starting to fall behind. Like, I have only lands in my hand. Guess I have the answer to our Gothian here, but I almost don't want to like let them have a whole turn with this much mana and this much Argothianing. Okay, I guess I should have countered the stupid Plowshares. That's okay though. I mean, we're still playing infinite deck. I don't know. Like, we're gonna draw AK, right? Like, we're gonna draw AK. We're gonna draw Gaia's Blessing. Like, these are all things that we can draw. Draw Portent. Okay, AK, disenchant, sleight of hand. Sure, so we'll draw AK, and then we'll just start disenchanting anything. I like our opponent is also showing like a superhuman amount of patience right now. Oh, I could have just shuffled away the nonsense. Sleight of hand. One Gaia's Blessing, please. Gosh, sure. Sleight of hand. I mean, island, because I'm literally going to hand size now. Opt. Bottom. Ray of Revelation and Exploration instead of hand sizing it. I mean, they have Serra Sanctum, so now Serra Sanctum taps for 0. Sterling Grove. Counterspell. Gush for the hard cast. Okay, now I wish I had 1 Armageddon. Growth. I mean, do we AK for 4 here? That's our end step. We have a land drop to make. We have Gush and Foil. We're looking for Gaia's Blessings and Psychotogs. Gaia's Blessing. Get back. I guess Counterspell. AK. Disenchant is fine. Blue to do that. There's a Tog. Play City of Brass. White. Play Tog. Black. Important. Myself. Opt is fine. No shuffle. Pitch 2 Flooded Strands. In response, all counterspell. Carpet. Wild Growth. Okay, they're going for some shenanigans here. Opalescence. Doesn't matter. Replenish. What are you replenishing? A Sterling Grove? I mean, I guess I'll counterspell. I mean, like, guess I'll counterspell that. I mean, I could also just disenchant the Sterling Grove, and then I can just like Ray of Revelation the Sterling Grove and disenchant the Sterling Grove, can't I? But then they get the Sterling Grove value. Why don't I just counterspell this? And just to be safe, let's just go ahead and blow this up because they can only cast 1 more spell this turn anyways. And on my end step, I'll go ahead and opt and bottom this Gemstone Mine to draw this other opt, which we're then going to get the last island. All right, cast opt. And I guess we have the emergency Psych Dog. All right. We have the AK. Gosh. Foil, second foil. Okay, so it's kill them time. Fire you. Okay. This is never going to happen in paper, huh? Fire you. Go to my next phase. attack. They're going to make me do it. Out. Island. Flooded strand, flooded strand, flooded strand, flight of hand. Don't really need portents because I can like only Gaia's Blessing like some good stuff. Don't really need ops and sleights of hand. Discard a gemstone mine. Discard. Don't need 100 gushes and counter spells. Don't need all of my pyroclasms anymore as well. I mean, I don't need anything. I have full coverage, obviously. Just need to make sure I don't exile too many islands, I guess. Okay, don't need ops. Okay, what have you got? You're dead. All right. 3-1. Beat Enchantress. I thought it was bad, but we can also just do this. We just do this. This plan works. This has been, regardless of the result, this has been a great video so far, right? Like I've played against only real decks, Iggy Pop, Terrageddon with Blessing, Enchantress, and forgot what the last one was. So it's been banger. Okay, this hand kind of weak. I think I'd mulligan this on the draw, but who am I kidding? I never mulligan. I guess we could have checked our opponent's deck history. Oh, they play Replenish. Okay, well, that makes this Plowshares pretty bad. And my no Meddling Mage is pretty bad. I guess if the metagame is going to be like this, then, you know. All right, foil is a good card to have against the Replenishers, and especially because I already have a dead card to pitch. Plowshares mainly your normal stuff. Interesting. Okay, so I have Mana Leak, which makes things sort of spicy. I think I'm going to go for the 8 counterspell plan. I guess I don't have any way to mill cards from them, so 8 counterspell is like a little bit dicey, but right now we don't have anything else going on. Icing here stops them from playing Attunement on time. I think it's pretty enticing. 8 cards in hand. Sleight of hand is fine. Portent is fine. Take a mana source, I suppose. Ray of Revelation. Yeah, dude. Okay, I'm pretty sure we can go for the counter everything plan now. So why don't we just go ahead and play a Dryad here and just get like a Mana Leak or a Plowshares out of their hand. The Ray of Revelation on top makes it so that I can do that. So if they happen to use this as an opportunity to play Opalescence, it's okay. I have the Ray and then I don't have to worry about it. So now I only need to draw 6 counter spells. I have 7 in my deck. I have no way to force them to draw cards. I have no Vision Charm. So I don't know how good of a plan this is, but I think we should be okay. We draw so many cards and they basically don't. I guess they can hardcast Decree of Silence. Yeah, I guess the plan doesn't really work because they can hardcast Decree of Silence. Well, I guess if they hardcast Decree of Silence, I could always just sit here with like a bunch of cantrips and always blow up the Decree of Silence. They can also cycle Decree of Silence to protect their stuff. Okay, so I think this is going to have to be like still a tempo game. Like not like the fastest tempo game in the world, but still a game where I try to draw into creatures and I try to mess them up. But yeah, no Meddling Mage. Definitely want a Meddling Mage Plowshares in this matchup specifically. It's a huge advantage. They don't choose to jam anything important. So we'll Portent. Looking for AKs. Green Dryad and lands. So the lands are okay, but I think I need to do better than that. With their 6 cards in hand, I need to draw into more draw spells. But yeah, they can cycle Decree of Justice or Decree of Silence, which makes it impossible for me to play the stop them from casting 4 Opalescence for Replenish game necessarily. And I have no graveyard hate of my own, so it doesn't work. Their mana leaks also make my Armageddon plan a little bit worse, so... I mean, if we're struggling this much against Replenish and Enchantress, I guess we have to play Meddling Mage on the sideboard. Replenish, Enchantress, and Dreadnought, the 3 best decks in the format. But the problem is all the not best decks in the format, Meddling Mage is like less good against. Take an additional counterspell, but I do need lands to start getting past getting mana leaked here. I don't really want to use my pip on a Gro-a-Tog right now because the Ray of Revelation I kind of want to cast twice, so I guess I won't. Guess I should have taken the lands off that portent, the lands and the whatever. I mean, I got a counterspell out of the deal, but I can't actually unload these until I find a gush. Going for the intuition. Oh, end step Frantic Search. End step Frantic Search for like a little bit of value. Intuition. I guess they're going to go for a Replenish with the Mana Leak backup here. The Swords of Plowshares can get turned on. I can like I can counterspell their Replenish, they can Mana Leak back, and then if they have 2 Opalescences, I can Plowshares one and then Ray of Rev the other. But I guess if they have 2 Opalescences, I never want to let that Replenish resolve. At least it'll take them a while to rebuild, I think. Okay, you can have a P-Wave. 1 less Decree of Silence that I have to counter, or available to counter. So if their hand is like Replenish plus double counterspell, then good for you. Or Misdirection, main deck. Draw a counterspell, okay. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to regret not having an island in my hand. Gemstone Mine. Don't really have to play Gro-a-Tog here. AK for 2 available. Yeah, because I can AK and then draw a cantrip and then draw an island. Or I can just draw more nothing. Hope you're hungry for nothing, as Nathan Fielder would say. But now I have mana to counterspell foil in a single turn. I guess I could have counterspelled and then pay for Mana Leak. I didn't think about that. But I might need to go like double counterspell because of Decree of Silence. Again, cycling I can't answer. All right, we're going to pitch a Plowshares. An additional foil is pretty spicy here. So now we have counterspell foil. Obviously looking for the gush. And kind of want to get this Tog out of my hand. Replenish. Going to go for a counterspell here. Maybe I should have gone for Hardcast Foil. I don't know. I think, yeah, I should have gone for Hardcast Foil because I could play. Well, no, I couldn't pay for Mana Leak, so I shouldn't. All right, how many Replenishes? 2 used? Tog? Yeah, they're going to Hardcast Decree Silence. They're thinking about it. Sheesh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've used 3 counterspells and 0 foils. I only have 1 counterspell left. Yeah, I should have. Well, no, I couldn't Hardcast Foil around Mana Leak. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to foil that. Korean Dryad. Play the Dryad, and then we can pay for a whatever. Pay for a Mana Leak. I guess we can't pay for double Mana Leak. There it is. Attack with the Dryad. I have 6 cards in hand. What are they loading up for? Can I go Tog? No, don't think so. I'm gonna wait 1 turn because I think I'm like a little vulnerable here. Hope Lessons resolves. Drop Array. Also, I want to conserve my Gemstone Mine counters. I actually don't have a lot left, right? Korean Dryad again. No, I think we play them one at a time. Hard to say. I think, well, now we don't have to because we have the Ray of Revelation in our graveyard. I guess I should try to beat down a little. Well, I drew a counterspell, so now it doesn't matter. go ahead and play the island because they could. So now I can play Counterspell through Mana Leak and foil. Okay, so they're dead. Can we draw City of Brass? Okay. They do have Plowshares. Okay, I mean, that's fine. We are in the business of stopping like 6 cards in hand. I still can't like let a Replenish resolve. They still have 2 in their deck, and they can definitely cast them all at the same time. Although now that it's their turn and they've used 2 Swords of Plowshares, this is a lock, right? Okay. I mean, they'd have to bust out some instant speed removal spell that's not Swords to Plowshares. That is not in the format, I believe. Oh, they can go Plowshares Cycle Decree. Plowshares Cycle Decree is 6 mana, and then another Plowshares. So Plowshares Cycle Decree. So I still have to play around Plowshares Cycle Decree. Discard the sleight of hand and exile this. Okay, you have to have double Plowshares Cycle Decree here, so let's see if they do. Okay, they have none of that. Okay, so we do. I always do this where I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna play more turns. I'm gonna play more turns, and then I end up in a spot where I played too conservatively, and then obviously wasn't able to finish the job. So little bit tough here. Okay, we want get-ins. How much Disenchant Ray of Revelation can we reasonably play before it just gets not good? The thing is, we know they don't have creatures based on their previous finish. If they do have the creature pivot, good on them. Creature pivot's less popular these days anyways. All our counter spells are good. They have Orm's Chant type stuff. I think we might need to play threats because we're going to be like all about like threat leveling them and going for like the sneaky game. The game where we play threats and we counter Plowshares. I think that's fine. I think we do it like this. Like we don't bother with Blessing because even in a long game, they can like get all their lands in play. They can cycle Decree of Silence, which is an uncounterable counter. And then post-board, they also have like Orm's Chant stuff. So if we let them set up forever, they're just going to Orm's Chant to win. So we have to be trying to beat down. I think we can be the beatdown. The Plains always gets me. When you see hands like this is why even playing Flooded Strand is like, oh, it breaks my heart. But you have to play Flooded Strand. You can't just not have any colored sources, period. All right, what are we going to do? Counterspell, foil, double opt. Armageddon with Gush foil backup. Blow up 2 of our City of Brass. Counterspell anything early. I think we'll keep Counterspell over foil considering we have no islands and no Gushes right now. And we want to play all of our... I mean, the thing is we do want to play Gush before we play Armageddon. But it's possible we go opt, we go turn 2, whatever. We play Korean Dryad, Counterspell backup, counter 1 time. And then, it's also possible we'll just draw foil. Yeah, I'll take an opt, even though it's going to deal like a trillion damage to me. There's a Gush. All right. So now we're just like literally opting into islands so that we can Gush Armageddon foil. Blowing up 2 City of Brass is not my favorite, but also they're mana screwed. So now our Armageddon looks worse, actually. No, don't need Disenchant, just need islands. Just need islands, please. All right, now they only have 1 white source up. I might as well wait on the Korean Dryad. Well, the problem with waiting on the Korean Dryad is that I want to play it now. If it gets plowed, it gets plowed. If it doesn't get plowed, it's fine. But I want to have Counterspell up when they have 4 mana. So if they draw the land off the top, then, whatever. And they've kept a 7-card hand, so they're like, whatever. Oh, they just have Mana Leak. All right. Okay, they're mana screwed, but I'm not doing anything right now. I think as soon as they play their 3rd land, I'm going to go Gush Armageddon. That's assuming that I can Gush. Okay, well, 25 lands. You can get stuck on 2 for the top 11. It's not the most outrageous. Oh, they pitch an Opalescence. That's relevant. Okay, we're going to opt looking for island. I guess AK gets into my graveyard this way, so that's good. Do I counter an attunement here? Like knowing that they want to draw lands? I don't think I do. Found the island. Okay, now we have Gush Armageddon double foil, so I'm waiting for them to play their 4th land. I'll counter the one thing they do, and then they're cooked. Lol, two Opalescents in the graveyard. Making my job easy. All right. This Plains is a little awkward, I do have to say. So we Gush Armageddon and we try to start rebuilding immediately. I think we really want to get that 4th land out of them because they're so mana screwed. I know there's a little bit of screaming going on in chat in the comments right now of just like, oh my God, don't you wish you had Mox Diamond right here? Over what? Over what card? You want me to play Mox Diamond instead of any of these cards? But yeah, Mox Diamond would be sick if I could use it here. Okay, you can have a Parallax Wave. I have never begrudged you from having Parallax Waves. Do we pitch the Gush? I don't think so. They're going to try to go Ancient Tomb Worms Chant. I've got a counterspell. They're like, should I jam this Replenish in my hand or not? Like, they're like, I know he has it. Okay, we're going to Gush. And we're going to foil. I'm going to pitch. Should we pitch Plains? We have to. We literally have to, right? We don't literally have to. We can AK into more islands if our life depended on it. Doesn't matter. Okay, so we are cooked if they have another Orm's Chant replenish. Unless, of course, we draw a counterspell here. Okay. Blessed by the gods, are we not? Slide a hand. Take a brass, right? I want this colored source for afterwards. Arms Chant again. They really did have it again. That's actually unreal. Okay. I mean, I guess I should have blown up their only 3 lands. I mean, luckily for me, the way this works is this happens. Wait, does this? Yeah, okay, this does happen like this. Okay, cool. Hold control. I don't know which button on my keyboard is control because of how like Macintosh stuff works. Well, the problem is I have to blow up the last Opalescence anyway, so I have to go like, okay, I have to go Ray of Revelation, targeting like this, pay for Ray, respond to Ray, counter Ray like this, pitch Island and City of Brass. Let this resolve, cast all these spells, and then now we'll disenchant this, and then they have and then I guess I wish I never bottomed that I wish I never bottomed that thing because they have the Parallax Wave in hand. I mean, they drew all 3 Orm's Chant. They're like, oh, I didn't draw any lands. You drew all three Orm's Chant. That's pretty good. But yeah, it's pretty unfortunate sequence that they had. Like, I literally beat every single one except for the last one. They had the one extra card they needed. It's okay. I've got a few. Like, I have live draws. Island, AK for 2 because we might draw Portent. Or AK for 3. We did draw Portent, and then take 5, and then I can't if I take 4, then I can't cast the stupid thing. Oh yeah, we took too much damage from City of Brass, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to Portent, so either I try to Portent into Disenchant, or I can draw an island this turn, and then go Gush, Portent, Disenchant. Like, both are pretty the same. Okay, I guess I have to sleight of hand for the island and then gush for the disenchant. There's no outs. And I could, yeah, I mean, obviously I could try to get into Gemstone Mine, but this is still fine. I mean, it's actually pretty funny. Swords of Plowshares, I can sink into their stupid Decree of Silence. I think it was fine. We were like literally one turn off. We were on the play. I mean, I guess we got greedy. We had the Gush Armageddon, but we didn't want to take only 3 lands. But they could have recovered, and I had nothing else going on. I think this is just, it is what it is. They went triple Orm's Chant, double Replenish. Like, I'm not meant to beat that. If you put triple Orm's Chant, double Replenish into your deck, like, you're in great shape. I just need a card draw, man. I just need card draw. It's like, should I play Fire or Ice instead of Gro-a-Tog? Because I could have, like, iced on those turns. I guess icing on those turns wouldn't have made a difference because they would have gone for the upkeep Orm's Chant. I mean, it was really smart of them to go for the jam, the second Replenish anyways, because if I didn't have the second counterspell, it put me off Armageddon mana. So it was like a huge, man. Again, our opponents are freaking taking the challenges very seriously. We haven't played against any Baby Burn. And Green-White Mad Dogs we're not even playing against. We're literally playing against Replenish Enchantress, Iggy Pop. I mean, the Iggy Pop deck is pretty good. I kind of forgot what was my other win was. Okay, I mean, this is good enough. I've got some interaction. I've got a card draw piece. This is like not a great hand, but I'm not going to mulligan it because it's just too hard to mulligan. Oh, maybe this was a mulligan actually. Opt is so weak. Like Portent fetch is fine. Opt potentially can not find the goods. Because the foil doesn't do anything early. So really this is just like a 1-card hand. Because I'm like, oh, all I need is card draw. The thing is I need card draw and land drops. And you can't really mulligan if you're going for land drops. Okay, well that constitutes a plan. I guess I just have to hope they don't have the Ancient Tomb answer again. Okay, well now I have the double answer. Okay, another opt. We can opt now. Portent. Portent is good. Portent self. Look for Gush. Counterspell foil. Okay, I need more card draw than that many counter spells, huh? Gemstone Mine, maybe? No, I just need more card draw. I mean, I need Gush, right? Couldn't really take any of those cards because they don't get me closer to Gush. And Gush, there we go. Gush is why we're here. City of Brass. Pass the turn. Play the 4th land. Okay, the question is, will they double mana leak? The counterspell is nice, but I'm not going to go Gush with counterspell backup here. Or sorry, Armageddon with counterspell backup. I'm going to foil the counterspell, pitching an island and a Flooded Strand. Is that enough? I think I can pitch the Ray. I want these. Well, I could pitch counterspell, but these counterspells are still relevant as the game goes on. Go for the double mana leak. Okay, now if they go like Frantic Search, big spell, they can get the job done. But I wasn't going to sit on my hands forever. I guess I should have played the Flooded Strand in case I draw foil. But I'm starting to fade. These blue mirrors, man. Okay, resolve the spell that you've been dying to resolve. Nothing? Fine. We play on then. All right, should I just counter the intuition? Because countering intuition counters replenish. I mean, that's how they're playing their deck. They're trying to set up giant replenish, and they can do that with Orm's Chant, so I might as well make it so they have nothing in their graveyard. I mean, they go to Frantic Search the goods, and then attunement is fine. Okay, we're gonna draw. We have Gush. Pretty good for our future Armageddons. I think I'm always yielding to that. Orm's Chant. What have we got? Wave Attunement. I mean, are they going to Frantic Search like the absolute nutter butters into their graveyard here? It has to be Orm's Chant, and their next cards should have to be Frantic Search, 2 insane enchantments, and a replenish. Like, do I really? I think I have to call their bluff. Like, I can't just like be, whatever. Maybe I could like hardcast Gush. I mean, in case they have Decree of Silence, then I have to like use Gush to like help proc Decree. But like they don't have a freaking whatever. It just doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. Good job. Nice cards. I'm proud of you. Okay. I love countering stuff for free like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that play. I think I format diffed this opponent. I might still lose because, this isn't like the best spot in the world, but they definitely didn't threat assess, or they didn't really assess. Like, they have nothing scary in their graveyard. They replenished. They have nothing they just spent they 2 for 0'd me in a spot where I was like plausibly starting to fall behind. Pitch Attunement, Swords of Plowshares. They're like losing Plowshares and stuff. They have 2 cards in hand. If they cast it, they can cast a Decree of Silence. Obviously, that's pretty strong. But we have the answer. And then I might preemptive Gush just because an Armageddon is so good here. I think that's fine. AK. Play, if I Armageddon, I think I'll play one more. I'll play Gemstone Mine, and then I'll hold 1 Gemstone Mine. Oh, I guess this is kind of bad because if they have Mana Leak, it's only bad for 1 turn though. They'd have to cast exactly Replenish Mana Leak here for it to be bad for me. They're going to cast exactly Replenish Mana Leak. I actually can't believe it. Wow. The worst Gush of my life? ? Never mind. Tog. Should I kill the Seal Cleansing? They have 1 card in hand. I mean, their last card's not Mana Leak. The problem is they have 2 waves. Frantic Search is fine. It's more card disadvantage. I can't beat Chant right now. Okay, we're going to disenchant the Seal, and then it's go time. Okay, so if I play Tog, I'll have Lethal, and I'll have I can pay for a Mana Leak. I have 1 card in hand. They've cast 2 Replenishes. They've pitched 2 Swords of Plowshares. They have 2 Ancient Tombs, so I feel like Quirion Dryad could get there anyways. Or I'll just draw Psychotog. Ooh, the Cycle Decree. It's pretty strong. I think we just stay patient. I mean, I guess if we play land, we can go Quirion Dryad. If we draw Counterspell, we can go... If we play land, we can go Quirion Dryad and go Quirion Dryad plus hold up Counterspell. If we draw a Counterspell. But we don't need to do that until we see the Counterspell. But we can also hold up Ray of Revelation. Don't know if that's relevant. They still haven't found Opalescence. Damn. I think we hold the line here. They're down to 6. Damn. I think this is close, and I think I'm starting to fall behind. That Decree of Silence was nasty. Yeah, that Worm's Chant. Okay. I have no Opalescence still, though. Yep. Okay. Draw a card, see what it is. Should we feed a Dryad? I think we absolutely should. Man, we're just low on gas, huh? It feels horrible. Well, they're at absolute 0. They do get a tune. I could draw another Ray of Revelation. I feel like I prioritized card draw every single time I saw it. I just couldn't keep a hand with 1 opt and nothing else. I mean, I don't know. They just they saw 3 replenishes in the top 30 plus 2 Orm's Chant. It's like same thing. They didn't do that. They almost did no filtering. Okay, if we draw Armageddon, we still win, right? Okay, so we're going to go hold priority. No, we're going to just Portent. because we have a foil now. Okay, so we're still in business, and we can foil. Well, we're drawing towards Armageddon, and also we have to worry about clock. Man, I feel like I want this to be a resolver's gush. I don't know why I'm using gemstone mine here. Okay, more trash. Play an island. Should play Flooded Strand maybe? Don't want to play. I need to keep. Okay, this is island for pitching to foil, then this is this, and then I'm keeping all this. Or maybe I'm going to pitch the gemstone mine to foil so that I can have 2 islands after I Armageddon. Come on. I mean, without even spinning Opalescence, it's kind of disgusting. And also, I didn't draw any more counter magic. I'm a little tilted now. Also, my opponent is like mega complaining in chat. All right, you get your decrees back. They're like, oh, I haven't drawn Opalescence. It's like, well, spin your attunement if you have stuff to pitch. I don't know. Intuition. Okay. I'm chanted currently, so maybe I should chant again in response to chant. It's the way to go. And my own chants. Be pretty funny. All right. Wow, their last card is Replenish. Sincerely. Oh, wait. They're just shipping it. Interesting. Well, GG, I guess. I mean, like, if you draw like that, like, it's good for you. Yeah. That's a tilt. That's like a mega tilt. All right. The rest of the challenge is probably waiting on us. They're like, oh, no, I didn't draw Opalescence. I didn't draw this. I didn't draw that. It's like, yeah, well, neither did I. Like, I am 34 cards deep, and I saw 1 accumulated knowledge. Like, that's the card I'm looking for. My deck is all cantrips, too. 34 plus the extra 3 looks from Portent, right? I don't know. Seems unfair. It's okay. I think we're still live. Like, look at us. We're 9th seed. Top of the 3-2s. Oh, no. We're not going to get there, right? Because, yeah, because all of these 7 are locked. And then the winner of this is going to get in. So we're going to have a sad whatever. Okay. If I had Meddling Mage in my deck, I would have won this challenge. Like, playing against mono Meddling Mage is good matchups. Didn't play against any of like the Rock or whatever. Gaia's Blessing was sick though. Gaia's Blessing was super sick. It's still hard to fit everything in this deck even after I opened up so many slots. God, I just don't keep 5 lands opt foil. Yeah, I can't keep 5 lands opt and foil. It's just too nasty. Too weak. It doesn't do anything. Well, I didn't have Mage against Enchantress and I still won, so. Like, didn't have Mage against Enchantress, still won. Didn't have Mage against Replenish and lost. Didn't have Mage against Terravore Abundance. Probably wouldn't have used it. We've been on the play a bit. This hand is a little janky. I'm never casting these gushes unless I go island. Yeah, it's a mulligan. That is better. I guess I put a foil in my deck because if I'm forced to use this foil, I'm going to foil pitching foil. But if I'm playing against Dreadnought, then I really want to have Gush double foil. So maybe I'll just bottom an island and be like, okay, I'm going to draw lands. Forest, Finhorn Elves. Okay. Change of plans. Well, I guess, I don't know how much plans change. I just play City of Brass here and then I foil pitching foil on the survival. Can't really afford to Gush foil. So I could foil pitching Gush. No, that's never right. Okay, well, I guess I should have kept the 3rd island because he kept the 3rd island foil pitching AK and then have AK available and then Gush. All right, well, I mean, I guess I could Gush foil. I mean, maybe, yeah. I just play the 2nd island and I go Gush foil. Literally, who cares? Bunch of cards that don't matter here. That's the card that matters. Should I AK first or just pitch foil pitching foil? I do actually want to counter one more spell. I think, yeah, I should have Gushed foiled. I should have just played the 2nd island and then gone for Gush foil. What am I thinking? Now I can cast neither. I mean, it's okay. Like if I draw a cantrip or an island, I can counter the next thing. I mean, they might just go double survival here, and then we can just go on to the next game, I think. Like this is a good start from elves if it's double survival. Island fire one time. Would love to have a Tog, but oh, that does something. Play to the island, gush, foil pitching the other island, or foil pitching AK and then foil pitching something else. Oh, there's already a deranged, huh? Well, I can foil it on the way. Oh, that's disgusting. Whoa. Jens Kajair. Damn. Popping off. All right, let's just put these cards in. And I don't really need foil. Counterspell is okay. It's not a big deal. I tend to try to play this with like 0 counterspells, because if we're just like spending all our time doing removal, then we don't really have time for countering stuff. I am on the play, so I can counter survival sometimes. And like you sometimes want to counter stuff like Masticore and whatnot, but you have Plowshares for Masticore. Masticore can't actually stand up to Dryad anyways. I'm not going to board out anything else. I think cantrips are still fine. You have time against elves. Not unlimited time, but you really just want to find Pyroclasm. Because Counterspell defeats Call of the Claw, but hopefully my 5 disenchants will keep Call of the Claw out of the picture. And also, like, I probably Pyroclasm like a little bit earlier than average. Things are coming back down to earth, right? So I'm like losing matches, but they're like super close matches, but you still want some matches to not be super close. Especially like when I make mistakes, which like, you know, I've been playing this deck so long, but I still am just like making mistakes with it. So that is going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. Oh, this is a lot of cantrips. It's got a Dryad too. Should be fine. This is like one of these like 10-10 Dryad. Oh man, if only. I do need to hit the land so I can start making my Dryad a 10-10. Monkey Paw Curls. Oh, Symbiote is a really slow start. Oh, Gush isn't that exciting. Play Dryad. Llanowar Elf. Cradle. Come on, every time. Priest. Oh. Okay, now we have to slide a hand into Plowshares pretty quick. Well, Fire Ice or Pyroclasm, of course. Thought about sending the okay, Fire Ice works. I mean, it's not pretty, but you got to take it. I think sleight of handing for a land here was like worth a consideration, especially since I'm using a Gemstone Mine counter, which is nasty, but I have a City of Brass, so the answers will come. Their slow start became a 6 start. Kind of sad about that. I mean, I can't beat Cradle whatever like every day. You can't just be like, ugh. Can't keep making excuses though. I'm like, oh, I couldn't beat the Replenish player. I couldn't beat the like whatever. Oh, I played against Black-White Control. That's right, I won. So everything was just too close. A little too close for comfort. So Grotog, challenge meta, not quite it. Challenge pretty tough. If everybody's going to be like hardcore in the challenge, I'm going to end up like 3-3 playing against only good decks. Decks that I generally think that I have reasonable edge against, but like honestly the sheer power of the deck, like part of the reason why that Replenish matchup was like so hard is because the deck is very powerful. Like the deck is capable of drawing a bunch of Worm's Chant into the top half. Like I think I probably win a lot of the time there, but not so much of the time that I should feel invincible against Replenish. Oh my, just all symbiotes, man. All right. Okay, so we got to take a turn off to look for Pyroclasm, don't we? I have to also like not get biorhythmed. Gaia's Cradle is just a broken freaking magic card, man. Yeah, well, the answer is to play elves. Isn't it always? All right, couple looks. Psychotog. My like only priority is removal. Maybe I should have taken the Gemstone Mine. No, I need the second island so that I can gush. And also, I could Pyroclasm for the reset and then attack for 5. Like, keep attacking, and then attacking does more damage. Yeah, that is pretty good. That is going to, oh, and the anger. Okay, this is typically a win for very great pilots. Let's see if they have the skills here. 15 should be trivial amount of damage to deal. With the symbiote available, the priests on tap. Yeah, it's all quite nasty. Ugh. Natural Granger, they can pick it up. Yeah, this typically results in a win. I mean, I guess it didn't matter, right? I drew the fire. I could fire the priest and the symbiote. Force the symbiote to pick up the priest and die. But then replay the priest, and then I had no follow-up, right? I figured my cantrips might be able to deliver me a little bit better action than this, but anyway, Portent Full Mist also. Okay. This our opponent doesn't know how to kill me. I mean, this is plenty. Oh, they're just short one. No, they can. No, they've used the Korean Ranger. Well, they can just play. They can tap the Cradle, play the Deranged Hermit, untap the Priest, replay the Deranged Hermit, and get in and kill me. Because it's 8. Yeah, should be fine. They pitch, so they go pitch. They have 3 mana. They have 7 mana right now. They go pitch, deranged, pick up the deranged, untap the pitch deranged, down to 6 mana. 1 mana floating with the deranged. Oh, they're 1 mana off. All right, so they're 1 mana off the deranged kill, but what they can do is they can go and get Kamal. So 7 mana gets Kamal, 0 mana floating, doesn't work. Okay, so they're a little short because the Korean Ranger didn't make enough mana. Maybe I don't remember when they tapped the priest. Maybe they didn't tap the priest while the Granger was in play, which would have been oh, they couldn't put the Granger in play without tapping the priest though. Well, they had another forest. Oh, they didn't have the mountain though. Okay. Yeah. So then they needed to get, well, okay, this is fine. I mean, they can just get another Ranger, or they can get another symbiote. So they can go symbiote, pick up the Ranger, untap the priest, replay the Ranger, and then whatever. But they're just going to opt to go for a Deranged Hermit here. Or they're going to go play Call the Herd and Deranged Hermit. All right, that's plenty of damage, obviously. Oh, I can't even fetch. That's not good. Oh, I can't even City of Brass. Okay, I guess I'm super dead. All right. Okay, I mean, that sucks. Okay, we played against some good stuff. Played against Icky Pop, Black White Control, Enchantress, Terrageddon with the Abundance Blessing engine. Did I say Enchantress already? Replenish and Elves. And we went 3-3. And we were really dying for Meddling Mage against Replenish and Enchantress, but we beat Enchantress anyways, and we kind of figured out a reasonable strategy against Enchantress. We didn't play against Dreadnought. We lost to Replenish. They drew kind of well. I think we probably win still. Again, I think they have Creative Silence is so much better than I thought it was when people started talking about it. But it was also kind of cool that we were able to beat Decree of Silence almost. So we just kind of guessed out. We probably kept a loose one. Probably could have played better. Definitely could have played better. The deck feels great when you're hitting the spells and hitting the cantrips and hitting the mana, hitting the draw. And then sometimes when you're like not hitting or you're doing stuff awkwardly. I mean, against Elves, like game 1, I should have had double foil. It probably didn't matter. Maybe it mattered. Symbiote's kind of nasty for that specific matchup. Makes life definitely pretty difficult for me to navigate. Against Black White Control, pretty sound strategy against Iggy Pop, close, but thank God for Gaia's blessing. Enchantress strategy felt like it could be beat, like they could beat me, but when I realized that they're like, they kind of do this thing where they're like, oh, I need to beat counter spells and mana denial, but once they like are doing all that, they're playing a bunch of junk, and you can tend to beat junk by just making sure they don't draw well. So I guess Armageddon, I mean, I still really wanted Armageddon against Replenish. I think if you were sort of evaluating this deck negatively, you would be like, oh, you kind of took I took the teeth out. I knew I took the teeth out to like some extent, right? Like I knew by not playing Daze and not playing Meddling Mage, I would like win fewer games where I could like stick a Meddling Mage and I only have to counter one spell. And that is definitely very real. So when I added AK to the deck, it felt like, okay, well, AK can solve this problem because I don't like, adding AK, cutting diamonds, and having access to 3 foil, right? Because this deck has not played 7 hard counters almost ever before. When I started playing this deck, it had 3 counterspell and 2 foil. So 7 hard counters is like a much different world where you can really, really control the stack. And you saw that against Enchantress when I'm holding up like 100 counterspells and stuff like that. So having that capability is really excellent. And what you give up for that is playing Meddling Mage, right? Like Meddling Mage is definitely really nice if you can like get a Meddling Mage, get a Quirion Dryad, and then it's not a bad combo, because what happens is you Meddling Mage naming Sword Splashers, then you play Quirion Dryad, and then you have foil for whatever, like Quirion Dryad or a Psychotog. Then you have foil for whatever card that they have to remove your thing that isn't Sword Splashers. If your opponent is gonna be able to fight a battle over it, it makes it a little bit hard. But even, against black-white control, I can just Mage, name Swords of Plowshares, and then they have to use counter Wrath of God and Vindicate to punch through. They can, of course, go Duress Wrath of God, and then I'm cooked. And I think in that Replenish game, I shouldn't have been mad, because I think if my opponent just didn't cast Orm's Chant Replenish when they didn't need to, and just like sat there and been like, well, I have Orm's Chant Replenish, this is all going to work out for me, I just need to wait until Opalescence shows up or Intuition shows up, and my opponent's not pressuring me, so I don't really need to do this. I can just like play lands, or I can spend a 2-min, I can do whatever makes sense, and then eventually I'm going to be able to go Chant Replenish. Maybe they felt compelled to because of the threat of Armageddon, but that's like kind of the only other thing. So yeah, I mean, not winning matches is always a good time to try to take a look at what you're doing and seeing what you can change. So what would I do? Well, I really liked Gaia's Blessing. It changed the texture of a lot of matchups just having the presence there. So I don't think that's a change I'm going to go back on. I think Armageddon was really excellent to threaten against Replenish and Black-White control, and I think playing a beatdown style deck with Armageddon is still really excellent. It didn't come up that I was playing against, like, I didn't play against any Psychotog matchups, basically. Like, I didn't play against any Goblins, Green-White Dogs, or like the raw, like any of these like 3/3 decks. Like Psychotog, I guess I played against one. I played against the Terravore deck. So I played against one deck where Psychotog, well, it was like the reason why I play for Psychotog. So I don't really want to say like, oh, I got a bad matchup draw, because my matchup draw was literally like one of every good deck in Premodern, plus, a couple ones that are like, solid, but maybe less popular. The Terragon deck, the Iggy Pop deck, less popular. Black-White control, slightly less popular, but Enchantress Replenish are quite popular. Enchantress Replenish and Elves are like some of the best decks in the format, right? And that's where losing 2 out of the 3 of those is like not great. Almost losing to Enchantress, not great. So what do I need to beat elves? I need to draw Pyroclasm, right? So I need 4 Pyroclasm over there. What do I need to beat replenish? Meddling Mage would be good. Where are we going to fit in the Meddling Mage? Just like play less disenchant effects. I mean, I guess I haven't seen Oath in a very long time, so maybe I don't have to play as much disenchant. I sideboarded incorrectly against the Tarragon deck. I had too many disenchants in my deck, right? I should have just had ops instead of disenchant. I kind of like went against my own rule of like never boarding out cantrips, especially because I had Gaia's Blessing, right? So I like never have to board out cantrips if I'm playing Gaia's Blessing. So I broke my own rule to try to fit more goodies in, and that cost me, like potentially cost me the match. It's not being able to dig. The other thing is like the really small effect of just like, okay, well, playing opt-in sleight of hand in your deck is like generally not good, right? They don't look at that many cards. They're all stars when you bottom a land and draw heat, but you know, when you see 2 lands or 2 cards that you don't want, you're just like sitting there and you're wishing there were impulses. So that's worth reevaluating to some extent. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still felt fine, and like, I think I just need a little bit more, I don't know. I don't think I can tune my way out of this though, because everything just pulls in multiple directions, right? Fire Ice is like super relevant. Don't want to cut it. Sleight of hand, cantrip density, I've decided is quite valuable, right? I don't really see myself playing like not that, like I don't see myself cutting sleight of hand, even though it looks like an easy cut. None of my opponents attacked my graveyard, and if they did, life would have gotten harder, but the threat of Phyrexian Furnace had me boarding in disenchant against like black-white control when I didn't need to. I was worried about it from the Tarragon deck, but guess I didn't need to be too worried about it. I could also just play 2 Meddling Mages main over 2 Psychotogs and then 2 Meddling Mage sideboard over, I mean, it'd have to be over the Gaia's Blessings, because if you're playing the Meddling Mage game, you're basically saying like, I'm going to end the game. Like I'm trying to, like if you are going to try to out resource me, then I'm going to try to like just have 1 extra card over you. But, and I mean, I guess I don't mind it just because I do kill everything on site, but the key cards that Meddling Mage hates to see are Call of Her tokens and Wall Blossoms. And so long as those are like popular in format, I feel like a little scared, but yeah, you know, if your opponent's just going to play Ill-Gotten Gains combo, Enchantress Replenish, then, and even black-white control, like it didn't seem like they saw that many decrees. So doesn't feel like Mage would have even been bad there. Because I Mage Naming Plow, play another creature, and then go to town. Okay, well, all good things to think about. I am sad not to bag a result, but also we faced some pretty tough competition. So this was like a really excellent learning experience, the kind of reality check that I needed, because I was feeling a little too confident with this deck. So we actually are fighting against some strong opponents, and we need to not get too comfortable with this deck. It's still not, I thought it had tier 1 potential, but I can see now that it's like definitely a mid-range feel, like, you know, 3/3 is like I'm basically playing the rock now. So need to try to think about what kind of unique approaches I can still like take where I'm not too mid-range. I think I went too in the direction of mid-range because I was like worried about beat down in mid-range, so I was like trying to out mid-range them, but then I lost a lot of edge against combo, and so now I kind of got to swing back to combo. So got to find the balance. I think we can do it. I think we can figure out a system. Until then, thanks for watching. again, check the info in the description and whatnot about the various ways you can support my videos. And I know there's been a lot of Grotog content recently, but and I have been playing other decks, played some HVAP, played some whatever. Try to get those recorded for you. But you know, I'm hyped on Grotog and a lot of the potential. And yeah, I mean, we did learn something. We learned that Gaia's Blessing kind of gets an A+, so love to see it.